Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing?
Hey.
Yeah, despite his efforts, Sladen still can't quite put me off. Excellent. So, welcome to Chaotic Stupid. We're Footprints In The Custard, and we're playing D&D today. Yeah. Guys, let's
story,
do some
bro.
D&D.
Yeah.
Oh shit, what am I doing? That's the wrong mouse. Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's begin, shall we? At the end of the previous session, the party had engaged in a series of investigations. Came up with more context for the world and learned some information pertaining to the increasing monster attacks. Ended up claiming some sort of old medallion artifact through the blood of a chosen, who was also in a cell. Met with the governor, Biffa Ratchley, came to a deal to sort out their ongoing monster problem, now that they've got a bit more context. Claimed the old tinker's shop and adjoining house and workshop, and had a long rest that was significantly not as restful as they should have been. So you guys wake up in the morning and it's kind of stiff, particularly you, Waka. You've been sleeping under a bed, crawled up like a cat. I believe Vast and Gonad were on the bed.
Spooning.
I believe Douche was. Did you sleep in the tub, or did you sleep on a sofa?
No, I actually went to go sleep on a bedroll above the trap door where that freaky tunnel led out, just so I basically had a bit of an early warning.
That makes a lot of sense.
Thing.
Yeah, I do remember that. Okay, cool. So yeah, you guys wake up, and as you're roused to consciousness, you kind of remember fragments of your dreams. And it was almost identical to the last dream you had, though a few minor details had changed, and it felt more real to you. Smells were more vivid. The flashes were more intense. The visions you were gained with flashes of other faces were more poignant. You could feel the breath on your faces and such. But you wake up refreshed but uneasy at the instance. The day is yours. What would you like to do, gentlemen?
It's my morning wood poking into to go now.
You tell me.
Well, I think we were sleeping so that he, in such a position that when he farted on my penis.
He did inflate you for a minute, like a little balloon.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
It's that's probably worth mentioning. For those of you that might not be familiar with this, we usually put a disclaimer at the start that it's going to be crude and stupid, but I didn't do that today. So yeah, that's surprise. It's going to involve blowing each other like balloons.
Surprise! Penises.
Here's a ball bearing full of sick and cheese. Whatever. Yeah. So I mean, if you want morning wood, you can have morning wood. If you would like to make a touch attack with it, you could just roll a straight dexterity and add your proficiency.
A touch attack.
Roll straight dexterity. Right.
Yeah, and add your proficiency to it.
That should be a bad touch attack, surely.
I'm pretty confident that beats your armor class, Gonad, right?
I can definitely feel it.
Yeah, you're definitely being poked in the back with a meat dagger.
That's a good start. Oh dear me.
Flavor. I wake up and roll over, moving the meat dagger from his back. Obviously.
Okay, I think I left the maximum amount of time for comedic effect. I'm back now.
It's in his back, doesn't it? Extra sneak damage.
Sneak attack.
Come on, bro.
Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna get out of bed. Do I notice that Wacker's there?
Waka, make a stealth check. Does Waka snore?
I bet he does.
No, he's having a good night's sleep, other than being a bit stiff.
Okay.
Does he suck his thumb while he sleeps?
Yes, he does.
Excellent. Well, roll a stealth check for
Right to the knuckle as well, not like not the tip. It's like
Not just the tip.
not just the tip.
Here we go. Cool.
Okie dokie.
All right. Cool. What's your passive perception? Vast.
It wouldn't be that.
It's a living, yeah. So yeah, you aren't aware.
11. Yeah.
You aren't aware of Waka underneath the bed.
Okay. I'll make my way out of the bedroom into the living area where Duche will be.
Okay. Cool. Duche, how have you slept?
I waking up and sort of patting myself like, oh, thank fuck nothing killed me in my sleep. Oh, that's nice. Where I'm sleeping, that was, I thought originally where the trapdoor was, that was where Tinker Blue kept like some of his scratchings and musings and whatnot. I thought
that was in the bit below. So there's like a living room area where the carpet was that covered the trapdoor, and then you went down the stairs, and that's where his where you guys found the notebook outlining the Phatek. So it's a reasonably comfortable, if not mundane, living room of sorts.
Yeah.
With the exception being the lights in the roof. They're the unusual aspect.
Okay, in that case, then I'll forego any investigation, and if I'm in the living room, I'll just like pat my bedroll away, just be, testing the loot strings and whatnot, and just idly plucking away on whatever seated area there is.
Excellent.
Good morning, Bard.
Good morning, sorcerer. Pleasant dreams.
Not particularly.
Yes, rather thought so. Same dream again, was it?
Oh, well, yes, we're sharing dreams now, aren't we?
We're sharing quite a lot of those these days. Vivid memories of cheese.
I've still got morning wood, by the way.
I am.
Excellent.
I'm being gracious enough to not notice.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Because when you sat up, wouldn't that have been at eye level?
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that
So turn around and slap you in the face with it.
Caught attention, so he understands.
It
I'll
occurs to me we need to talk.
I'll get properly dressed. I assume I don't sleep in my full robes.
No, presumably not. I mean, unless you wanted to. Waka's left a pile of his garments and gear because he's taken his armor off to rest somewhere.
Has he melted?
Yeah, there has been no sign of him thus far in your waking state, Val.
It's just, you've got to think, on the floor, there's just going to be a pool of armour, cheese, ball bearings, and water.
If I go into the workshop area, what do I see?
You see a damp, a tipped over bathtub, a tin tub, a scattering of ball bearings collected at the bottom of like a shutter kind of thing. The ground in front of it, while mostly dirt, is kind of like noticeably damp, though it seems to have drained mostly out of the shower.
Does it smell like?
It smells like wet earth and cheese.
What the fuck happened here?
Let's just say our resident fighter made some poor choices.
Okay. Where is he?
Well, last I saw him, he went upstairs. I would assume you'd have seen him before me.
I think at this point I'm gonna wake up and take a big stretch under the bed, and then just kind of edge out.
Do I notice this happening and just watch this giant half orc shuffling out from under the bed?
So, Gonad, you would have been disturbed somewhat by Vast coming out, especially being a rogue. You've technically been fully rested for 4 hours by this point, but you've kind of just been chilling, almost.
So when you wake up and just look at memes on your phone.
Yeah, you're just kind of just sort of coming to, taking your time with it, taking advantage of the quiet while you could. With your
I'm perusing a leather-bound book that I've recently procured called Ye Old Memes.
So, Waka, would you mind rolling a stealth check, please? And yeah, absolutely, Gonad would have been at least trying to have a sly wank by the looks of things. A
slank.
A slank. So yeah, with a 7, Gonad, you kind of feel the bed kind of bounce, and there's like a heavy thud, and then another one, and then another one, and another one. It seems to be, and you just kind of confused. You think it might be another earthquake, and then out of nowhere, just Waka just rises, almost like immediately like Dracula style. You're
good morning.
Morning.
How long have you been there?
How long have you been there?
Yes, I have.
I agree.
I'm going to go now. I'm just gonna fuck off right out the bedroom door downstairs.
excellent.
I think I'm gonna make sure I put all my armor on properly as well.
Yeah, let's go. So you take a bit of time with it being. I think you've got scale mail. I want to say.
It's chainmail.
It's heavy armor, right? So I mean, it'll take a bit of time to get on and do your sort of morning sort of ritual of getting everything ready and good to go in good working order, military style. You know, the rest of you, what are you doing? You're downstairs. Gonad has appeared from upstairs. Probably right at the end of your conversation about whether or not you've seen the half orc.
Have you seen
Morning,
the
gentlemen.
half orc?
Yes, he was under me.
Oh,
What kind of night were you all having up there?
the less said the better, I think.
Well, once Waka rejoins us, unfortunately, the less said the better will not be a motto we'll be living by today. I have questions. Looking pointedly as Rust, does Vast have his satchel on him? Like, have you got all your stuff on you, like including the satchel?
Yeah, he probably has by now.
Yeah. In that case, I'm going to be looking pointedly at the satchel where the newly minted medallion from the last episode is.
No, I got it from a tanner. Do you like it?
Very nice. I was rather more thinking of what's in it.
I see. Right.
Ever so slight case of murder.
He asked for it. I don't think it was really murder, was it?
Oh, he asked for it. Oh, I'm sorry. I did forget. You know what? I did take a remedial class in Draconic. Do you believe it just went plums fresh out of my mind? Is that what he asked for? Can I do an insight check?
100%. Yeah, go for it.
I think at the very least that would be a case of euthanasia.
Vast, what would you like
Okay.
to display to him in response?
My morning wood. No.
Nothing.
Ready?
Medic.
No. I'm being honest. He did ask for it, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we definitely need to talk then. And obviously, I'll just wait for Waka to finish up and join us from that point, so the whole group is there.
Yeah. The sun's kind of beginning to pour through some of the darker windows that you'd originally perused in. Well, maybe not Waka, because I think you were looking in a neighbour's house instead. Way back when. And the you see the one of the back rooms has a pantry that's kind of fairly well stocked, as it were.
Nice.
Is there any cheese in the pantry?
There is definitely cheese in the pantry.
Is there any goblins-ola?
Make an investigation check if you'd like.
Boys? What?
You don't find any goblins-ola. You do find a couple of smaller wheels of cheese, like just big baby bells. There's
I'm taking them.
There's like sausages and sort of salted meats, and a smattering.
Don't take them.
A smattering of grain, and such.
But I want the cheese.
Well, it's not goblins-ola, but there is
I
cheese.
need the cheese, Red Man.
Whilst he does that, I just go, Vas, could you bring out the bottles of wine and the tasters we got from that Malbec?
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to pop my head round the corner and wine. I'm here now.
Breakfast.
He's just like shuffling.
Breakfast
Yes, I've
and
got
wine,
those.
good boy. Breakfast
I'll,
and wine.
6 bottles of wine. I'll add it to our pantry. Inventory.
Excellent.
So just to clarify, do we have like 6 different bottles? Because we got tasters and we got wine. So are they
I
like...
think he took the tasters back and then gave us 6 bottles of wine instead.
All bottles
Yeah, I
and
think
stuff.
you did.
Yeah.
But they're all red. There's various
Good man.
various hues, but they're all very distinctly red.
Okay, did they have any distinct markings to say like a recent year or anything on them?
I mean, it just says the Simon Malbec over the top, and then like a recent year. They're not expensive. Expensive wines,
okay.
but they're good.
You know, like when you go to the co-op and they have one that just says red wine 2019.
Yeah, it's not quite like table wine like that bad. Like it's not just vinegar.
Yeah.
But it's
It's
not.
definitely
Gonna,
Malbec,
it's not going to
it
be
says.
like a 100-year-old fucking vintage. You know.
It's like a Hardy's like bin vintage. You know, you can pop it up for like a $5 or something.
Yeah, you know, it's certainly worth what you pay for it, but it's not. You guys don't know how much they're worth, so.
Yeah. In that case, I'll just open one and just let it sit for a bit.
Sure.
Get the sweet tannins. It'd make like a bit of a charcuterie board.
Excellent. So you guys fix up some breakfast and serve out some wine, and
Is there like a dining area?
I'm
Or is it-
going to bequeath my goblins-ola to
Queen.
the breakfast proceedings,
okay.
so that we have wine and cheese for breakfast.
It's fantasy.
All of them
Why not?
regional.
It's very continental.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so like
Incontinental.
he lived alone, so he doesn't exactly have a dining room of sorts. But there's enough room around this sort of living area that you can make yourselves comfortable while you eat.
Cool.
What
now,
does the
is it-
wine
are we-
taste like?
is it better-
Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, is it better than a breakfast and the dirty tackle?
Yeah, there's not a morsel of fish. There's no the sort of stale vinegar scent to the furnishings. There is a slight hint of damp earth making its way for some unknown reason, but it's comfortable. It's not as, let's say, popperish as the dirty tackle would have offered.
Well, as soon as I get a moment after we've eaten, I'm going to go and clean that the workstation area.
Yeah.
From what it's called, workshop.
Workshop,
There we go.
yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you spend a couple of minutes prestidigitating bits of it while you let the cheese and wine mingle in your yeah, what do you guys want to do? The day's
I want
roars,
to know
as it
how
is.
the wine tastes now that we've had a sip.
It's no, it's a bit sweet, really, for what you'd normally enjoy, but it's very
Sweet
much
for breakfast.
very much gnomish in its sort of its palate, as far as you understand. It doesn't have like the depth of the of sort of the elven taste. It's just kind of a bit crude, a bit sickly, but it's very functional.
So,
You reckon if you were going
on like a chart, would you say like Australian, Spanish, Italian?
halfling?
So like a safe like 11.5.
I mean, it's not a strong wine. You think it was hastily brewed, as it were. He might have a quite high turnover, as it were. It's nice though. Very much drinkable.
Passable it is.
The cheese, however, is less palatable. The Goblinzola, if you were partaking.
I was absolutely not. I was I was taking the pantry stores of wine, not the Goblinzola.
It's just a quite a sort of creamy kind of cheese he's got. It's like a light cheddar rather than a Goblinzola.
And what would you rate the maturity on a scale of?
Halfling.
No, this is the cheese, not the wine. This isn't part of the cheese.
See,
It's just generic.
Some
know that.
D&D
Little bit of
campaign.
Oh no!
Could be milking himself, for all you know.
Oh, I just realised what I said as soon as I said middle girth cheddar.
And you know, in
No,
Dragonborn,
I don't want the cheese anymore.
and I mean, there's been a series of heated debates on Reddit recently about the application of reptilian mammary glands. So who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows?
What's that got to do with cheese?
Pardon?
What's that got to do with cheese?
Well, I mean, was Blue making it himself, for all you know? I mean, we don't know how Dragonborn anatomy works.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, fair enough.
So when I say it's like halfling maturity, it could just be halfling cheese made with halfling milk. Though you suspect not.
Nice.
I'm going to take a big old bite.
Yeah, unceremoniously, but it's effective. You managed to cut that cheese with your teeth.
Mmm. Tastes like cheese.
What a riveting D&D.
The wine and cheese episode.
Roll your attack on the cheese.
Some cheese.
As you guys are sort of finishing up doing whatever you're doing, do you have any conversation, or are you just eating in silence?
I certainly don't lead it. We do.
I'll
Enough of this Dungeons and Dairy madness. Let's actually do some stuff.
Yeah. wine and
before we
Wensleydale.
before we leave, I just want to like take like a measuring glance of everyone and sort of say, it seems to me that we need to talk before we carry on today. Things happened yesterday, and certainly the way that we and I just like confirm, so we all had the same dream, sort of like, yeah.
It played out exactly the same way that you remember it happening last time. Though
But a bit more visceral.
It was more vibrant. Everything
Yeah.
was a little more real. Then you had like the few minor changes, including the medallion instead of the gear had changed.
Okay.
The gear had changed into the medallion.
Yeah.
you'd seen.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm going to turn to Vass and just say, I want to know everything you discussed with the Tinkerer whilst you were having that conversation. I covered for you as best I could with the jailer when the captain came back, and I certainly want to know it wasn't for anything other than the good.
Well, yes, thank you very much for covering me. It didn't really go as planned as such. It was a bit sort of winging it, I guess. So, I came to Dingleberry because I was told to. And it seems that he's been getting messages from the same thing.
And this
But he
thing
willingly offered himself to the device in my satchel, which is why I stabbed him.
And with all this information, you feel it's appropriate to continue down this line of somewhat violent inquiry.
So
Just
smiles to
to-
himself.
Just so this is clear in my head, a disembodied voice is speaking to you and a quite mad dragonborn. You murdered him, whether willingly or no, in a prison cell.
It's
The
euthanasia,
goblin
I think
pyramid.
he said.
I do believe I said euthanasia.
I don't think we're on the right continent for that to be allowed, unfortunately. And after which you got a nice shiny medallion and the dreams are worse and you think this is a good thing.
That about sums it up, I think, yes.
I would like to
Lovely.
interject at this point and state that whatever is happening, whatever route we're going down, obviously, whatever the Red Man has done seems to have worked. Because the dreams are back, we're seeing more, it's more vibrant, it's more visceral. I think we need to find where the location in this dream is. And the only way to do that is to visit the place that we were advised of yesterday by the fair governor.
I
Yes,
agree
and-
with what he said.
So, just to clarify, you're all in agreement that we are going to be giving blood sacrifices to an unknown voice in the hope that we reach a destination we all dreamed about that went very poorly for us. And that's the name of the game. Just to clarify.
Yes.
I'm going to
Again,
need
I
rather a
think
lot
your,
more.
your summaries of the situation are quite effective.
Alternate route.
It's a brash generalization, but I think if we know what we're walking into and we can prepare for it, it might end differently. It's not that it was a premonition, maybe just a warning.
Aren't you
No,
a little bit curious?
As ever.
As a bard, I will admit to some storybook curiosity of age-old lore. I would maybe just suggest a soupçon of caution before killing anybody else to get a medallion thing that makes something else stronger. Just maybe.
Just a soupçon, yes?
Someone say sausage.
Soupçon. I'm going to need a lot more of this. Reach over for the gnomish bottle of wine and just start chugging from the bottle.
Yeah, Duche, take inspiration for that because your alignment is different to the rest of them, and it's approvingly showing. So yeah, have that.
Yay!
We appear to have erupted into smoke. Wow, he's
I
back.
made such a
The
good
major
argument.
illusion.
The sorcerer just went poof.
I realised that I'd not plugged my laptop in, so didn't want it to just
That is wise.
die.
That is due diligence.
So, okay then.
You take a few hearty glugs and sort of take stock of the situation a little bit.
I'm
Oh,
going to
okay.
eat more cheese.
You can have more cheese. A rapping comes at the door.
Cool.
Ah!
Oh fuck. Yes.
And you hear a meek voice. It is I, the governor's assistant. hello?
Captain, lovely. I get up and just sort of swallow to the door and usher him in, just like none too gently after the conversation we've just had. A little bit believe, just like, come in, come in, come in. It's all mad in here today. Sit.
And he seems taken aback, like this elderly gentleman. And he's like, oh, well, yes, if I must. And he sits down and just looks at you all and.
Would you like some wine?
It's barely palatable.
And he says, no, not for me. It's far too early.
Cheese?
Do you like some cheese? It's even less palatable.
He sees the goblins all and he goes, no, thank you. I have a summons for you from our dear governor. He requests your presence at noon, if possible. And he realizes that he's sat down. He's like, he passes you the note. He says, just come up to the estate, and I shall usher you in with preferably less cheese and less wine, but noon preferably. He's a busy man.
If there could
can I
be cheese and wine,
I'm sure I could arrange something. Yes.
Whilst they're doing it, can I just like look over the note? Is there like any sort of tone to it? Anything that I can sort of glean from the wording?
It's more, I mean, it's quite a box standard summons. It's very, very light in information. There's not like a big paragraph or something. It just has this big, wonderfully opulent signature. At the
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the florid sort of.
It takes up half the page.
If I can just sort of like, is there any windows near us or like the open, if I can just pop my head out the door and just check like what general time we're looking at the moment.
I mean, make a perception check. Like Neebs gets up and sort of scuttles off to the door. And he says, I shall bid you adieu. I shall see you in good time. With that, you're very, very confident that you can see that it's quite quiet. But the day is starting to. It's fairly early. Like people are beginning to leave and go about their business. It is fairly early. You're talking like 9-ish.
Okay, and about how far was the governor's house? Like in 10
minutes tops.
10 minutes. Awesome. So we've got time to sort of about our business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Very well. What was your name?
Neebs, sir.
Neebs.
And he gives like a bow. You know, he's quite a drawn, gaunt man, but fairly well respected.
Okay. Sorry for the less than cordial greeting. As you can imagine, the situation has become quite tense. And sometimes manners aren't quite as carefully kept to as they should be.
And he says, "Yes, well, yes, master. I understand the fidgetiness induced by your morning coffee as well as anyone."
Darling of you. We'll see you at noon.
Splendid. And scurries off down the way. With there's a sense of immediate purpose to everything he's done. In terms of his movement, you know. He knows exactly where he's going and how he needs to get there quickly.
Okay, gentlemen, by my calculations, keeping a little weather eye out, we have 2 hours to do as we see fit. I would say that we get to the governor's house rather early than he expects because arseholes like that don't tend to actually mean noon when they say noon.
I will contest that point and say, if you remember rightly, last time we arrived at nearly 6-ish hours past noon, because we don't have clocks and therefore don't know the time.
You know what the time is. Time is.
He was only just beginning.
Time is a contract here. You know, it does exist in a comparable way as it does in our reality.
He was very much getting out of bed last time we went there. And
I would argue that
I could do with acquiring some supplies whilst we're near the.
Yes, you wanted to go find a smith, didn't you?
I've given up. I'm just going to find somebody who can sell me what I want.
To the marketplace, then, gentlemen.
Avast ye, scurvy sea dogs.
Cool. So, you managed
Did you
to
say
make
my name?
just the one Vast, actually. Yeah, you make your way out, and it's a fairly clear day. It's not like the standard sort of drizzle and sort of dull kind of windy nature that you've seen the last few days. It's quite. If you didn't know any better, you would say this. It looks like sort of late spring, early summer. It's got that kind of vibe to it. But it's mostly pleasant. Probably the most pleasant day you've seen thus far in Dingleberry. And you make your way towards the merchant quarry. Yeah.
Yes, I am looking for two things.
Yep.
One, somebody who can sell me a dagger.
Uh-huh.
Because I know that there's not much smithing that goes on here. There's people that can do metal work, but they don't do smithing.
Sure.
That section. So I'm going to look around for somebody who can sell me a dagger. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It just has to be equally as good as the last one. Or, maybe never acquired it. I need some new tiny stabbies. Also, I would need to find a tailor to fix some dagger holes and slightly burnt parts of my newly acquired overcoat.
Okay. Yeah, that's reasonably easily done. So if you're making your way towards the merchant's quarter, you can see that there's you've got your normal stalls and stuff. There's a few sort of general stores and such that do with supplying goods. You reckon you could ask around, or you could check any of these sort of situations. Noticeably, the Malbec stall is no longer there.
But the daughter's still wandering around.
You have every wonder if that is the case, though you can't be certain. So yeah,
Did we pass the twins' shack on the way here?
No, that's kind of off into the residential district a little bit. You can visit should you wish. It wouldn't take much of a detour to get around, but
I would like to go there at some point.
Okay, yeah.
Before we go to see Ratchley.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. It wouldn't take very long. It's quite. They're fairly interconnected. In Upper Dingle, it's quite. It's planned out fairly well. You think this is the newer part of the town, as it were. So it has more of an urban planning kind of vibe about it. Yeah, cool. So you make your way to the merchant's quarter. Like I say, you see a number of stalls. People are starting to set up shop. There's a number of people hauling carts around. You can see the oil salesman. He's still there, doing some bits. Though he seems to have a slightly depleted amount of stock in comparison. Not in a worryingly way. Like he's suddenly gone from having loads of skin cream to having none. But he seems to have done some business. He's currently in the process of setting up his display and such. The general store over there says Bart's across the top.
Okay.
Is there a bin out back where there's it's got El Barto?
You don't know. You can check. So what would you do?
Is there anything that looks like it sells anything of the more arcane persuasion?
Make an investigation check.
Investigation.
You look around, and while the daylight itself seems quite magical, everything else seems quite mundane.
Isn't life just magical?
It's really lifting your spirits. You're getting rid of your seasonal depression here, Vast.
Given some pressing concerns over our last couple of encounters, I would like to do the same as I wish to try and find someone that does some kind of healing balms, potions, anything of that sort of ilk, if that is a thing.
I'm definitely going to be looking for some healing potions.
Well, yeah, I mean, make investigation checks. Both Gonad and Touche. Waka, is there anything you're wanting to get your hands on at all?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just tagging along.
Okay. So you guys wander around the market, as it were, looking around to see if
We've
anyone,
had far too much wine for breakfast.
if anyone, it's impeding your ability to judge. You ask around, a number of people say, well, it's not really the type of thing that like the trade of magical goods tend to be quite highly regulated. But if anyone was going to have any, the priests would maybe have some. Gonad, you managed to find a tailor in the process as well, who's looking to take on clients for the day. He says if he's looking to repair the burns and singes in your gear thus far and create some hidey holes and such. He says it'll take him a couple of hours, but yeah, you could make it. You could leave it, pay him up front, and sort it out.
Is it possible if I chuck him a little bit of extra to get things like extra sort of like weapon holsters and little pockets for like extra daggers? And
okay, yeah. I mean, make a persuasion check. He looks at you and he says, well, it's not really the done thing, but I mean, as an honest tradesman, I'm sure you would have a need for easy access for tools, of course. It's man needs his tools in the most efficient way if he wants to. Yeah, I can definitely figure that out. Of course, nothing illicit, of course.
No, not at all. Not at all.
So they do tend to require a slightly tougher set of leather though on the inside. I could perhaps make it easily done in for 5 silver. Have it done for you in a couple of hours.
I think I can stretch 5 silver
Oh,
for
very
a
gracious.
gentleman such as yourself.
And
Tell you what, I'll give you 10 silver, and let's say it's a case of needing it sooner rather than later.
Very well, sir. Very well, very well. And he takes the coin, slips it into a pocket, and he takes your garments. What are you wearing? Like, do you have like
under the overcoat? I'm still wearing like my full leather armor. That's fine.
Right,
I just
that's
wanted the overcoat to be fixed and have like loads of little funky pockets dotted around on the inside,
cool,
so that at any one time I could possibly carry a lot more weaponry than I thought I could.
Oh, is this the coat from the goblin?
Yes.
the trench coat? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's absolutely fine. Yeah, he
I was
takes,
gonna say, whilst
takes it from
he's
you and
doing-
starts, starts going away and sorting it out. Sorry, Dishy, what were you saying?
I was saying, this guy, does he have any like off the rack sort of stuff?
Yeah,
Place.
he has some hats, some coats. It's not a fine selection, but there's some. It's less functional than what you'd like. You think that he's trying to sell to the higher class, though he doesn't seem to be having much luck. Is there anything in particular?
That is actually perfect. So, given I'm just thinking some of the governor's proclivities, as he may have, is there anything that cuts a rather sort of a foppery, sort of dashing, sort of edging the urge of going, oh god, that's garish, and just about get away with the sort of cutting figure?
There's a number of like rather saucy cloaks that are like fur lined, that have like some intricate sort of patterning on the back, using some sort of like gold thread, but it's like it's not. It's like if you got fine clothing off Wish. It's like it's from a distance you think you could pull it off, but you think if under any sort of significant scrutiny it would look like it was not quite up to scratch.
Maybe not that.
I mean, of course, you could again from a distance it could strike a certain kind of figure.
Nah, we'll be up close and personal. I'm just trying to think. I mean, in terms of my general wear, it's sort of like the whole heavy of velvets and silk like jacket. That's was finer back in the day, but is it still better than what he's selling? Essentially?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll stick with what I've got then. That's fine.
Cool.
Yeah, what he's selling is essentially those like felt king costumes that you can get from like Halloween shops.
Yeah.
Oh, like when they tell you it's like a full steampunk thing, but it's actually a horrible nylon blend that wouldn't put much against resistance against a cup of tea. Never mind the elements.
Yeah, you think that despite being a cloak, it's more it wouldn't protect you from the wind particularly by any stretch.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll sack that one off then. It's fine.
Okay, cool. Where else would you like to go? What would you like to do?
If we're done in the marketplace, or
He wants to go back to the twins shack. Yeah.
Okay.
I still need to find someone who sells daggers.
Okay.
If there is anybody who sells them.
Yeah, I mean, the general store would probably be the best way to look. There's a few. There's like some coopers that are doing some work. Some guy that's selling various sort of riding gear as well. So he has a number of sort of metal implements, but nothing that looks like weaponry. It's more just functional sort of trade supplier, as it were.
That's a point we maybe need to consider if we're travelling a distance. How we're going to do that? Maybe we'd need to acquire some horses, potentially.
I did suggest a carriage
Or carriage.
when we left the.
We're also at a port town. How?
When we left the governor's.
Yeah,
place, but
we
obviously,
just need to know where we're going first, don't we?
Everything here is just boats and fishing vessels.
It's the Nostrum Ministry that would be heading towards
That's
following it.
We're going to.
Is that
Amon.
inland? We'll
yeah,
be
that's,
going
Amon
that's, in
Hung, aren't we?
that's in the capital city.
Yeah, right, inland. Right, okay. I was just thinking like how we get about it, but no, these
Why
guys
were
are
we
completely
going
right.
there again?
For more information, we were discussing the historical elements of everything we were dealing with and the information, and obviously the governor said that barring his own access, that would be the place to go.
Yeah, Biffer claimed there was a number. If anyone was going to know anything more about ancient Phallyn history, to a depth that he would surpass his own, it would be people at the ministry.
Cool. To the twin shack then, other than the general store for daggers and whatnot.
Sure. Yeah. If you want to go into the general store, you go in and there's like it's just like a haberdashery, but with like adventuring equipment instead. There's a sort of selection of meager weaponry, mundane armor. It's not a particularly great selection, but it has enough. You think he tends to get more work selling surplus supply to the guard themselves, and they might have taken some of the better options. There's plenty of like oil and lanterns and tools and all that kind of stuff. There's just loads of little bits. Daggers are plentiful. There's a number of slightly different designs, but all very functionally mundane. You could easily
I
acquire
would
some.
like whichever seems the most shapely. I'd like a nicely shaped dagger.
Yeah, there's one that's got like a big sort of
Preferably if there's any that have like a
yeah, it's got like a vicious hook on the end at the top of it, so you can kind of like grip with it. But it's not it's quite a vicious looking dagger.
I want that one.
Okay.
Are there any more? Is it just? Does he just have the one?
He does have just the one in that design, at least on display. Anyway, you could ask him. There's a slightly rotund chap behind wearing like braces, and he's just watching you all sort of kind of gaily, as it were, for lack of a better word.
If he's watching us, then I'm just going to pick it up, and just like stroke it really sensually, as if it's the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Just stare at it in awe, and then I'm going to take that to the cat and just say, I very much appreciate the design of this particular piece of equipment. Is there any chance that there's any more, or is this the only one you have?
That's quite a rare orcish barbarian design. That one, very tribal, very effective, very brutal. But sadly, they're harder to come by sometimes. They tend not to trade their wares, and let's say a lot of people don't fancy their chances up against any sort of eyes whack it up and down a little bit. Some of the more feral races sometimes.
Of course. Do you have anything else similar? I'll be taking this one, of course, but do you have anything else of a similar design? Anything else that's
make a persuasion
same
check.
effect?
Make a persuasion check. He says there's a number of relative daggers. There's the dirks, and I've got a main gauche here. That's quite nice. Though that is easily my most exotic piece. In terms of daggers, of course.
Okay. So with the other daggers that you mentioned, are any of them also hooked in any way?
Nah, that's the only one that has the edge.
Yeah, that's fine. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Oh, well,
I'll take this one.
excellent. That will set you back five gold for that piece.
I think I can stretch 5 gold.
Wonderful.
And I'll just slide it across to him and just sit in the corner staring at it while the rest of the group decide what they do.
Yeah, and he pockets it away. He says, "Oh, pleasure doing business. Should I ever come into any more of these, I'll be sure to let you know."
Please do.
I mean, I don't know how, but I'll find a way. Pop in. This is where my shop is.
Okay, so is that anything specific?
It's just a dagger with a hook shape on it. You could probably use it as a python as well if you wanted to sort of like hook yourself onto something and pull yourself.
I'm just wondering for adding it to my inventory.
Yeah, just put dagger and then use the customize tool to add more descriptions to it. Is there anything else anyone else would like while you're in Debart D?
This isn't the kind of place where I'm going to find sort of any armor that's light armor, but maybe a better grade than what I've got or anything like that. From what you've said, it's like meager sort of.
I mean, there's leather armors. There's leather. There's some studded leather knocking around. He doesn't have like full plate or anything. There's like chain shirts and such. In terms of specifics, I think studded is probably the best you're probably going to find for light armor anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have I got at this juncture? I'll just check.
It's the wine, cheese, and shopping episode.
I know, right? Yeah. At this moment, I've got like an AC11 leather light armor. I mean, I'm only proficient with light armor, so it has to be light in any case. I'm just wondering if I can maybe make myself less squishy.
Yeah, if there is some studded leather. You could absolutely try and I say try. You can purchase from him if you want.
Yeah. I mean, does it look good, or is it going to be underneath my stuff anyway? Won't it? I would imagine. The leather is going to be sort of over, isn't it? Just
it can be both, depending on how you'd want to do it. You could wear like tabards and cloaks and stuff over it.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check.
I don't see the point of living if I can't be beautiful.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, you find a number of the pieces are quite. Like, you get the impression it might be more secondhand than anything else. But you do find a particularly nice piece with like sort of spiraled kind of rivets that come out across the shoulders and stuff, and it's quite fine for what it is. It's easily the best piece in the shop in terms of leather.
Okay, as a sort of a outside the realm DM question, would it make me less squishy?
Yeah, I'll give you an extra 1 AC.
Awesome. In that case, I'll go over to the counter, just like, how much for this? I mean, I can see well used, but how much would this be, good sir?
A piece of that quality would go for maybe 60 gold. It's quite effective.
60.
60, yeah, 60. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. maybe another time. I mean, and we'll have to shop around. I mean, this work that we're doing for the governor, it's terribly difficult, terribly dangerous. I really should only be paying for stuff that I know will keep me alive. You know how it is.
Make your persuasion.
Please. Don't let the +6 be for nothing. Damn it.
He says, well, if it's the governor, I mean, I could do it for 50. But you're still very much cutting into my profits there. A piece like that.
I'm just going to give
he says
a little nudge in the side and just sort of tilt my head towards our bard friend who's currently trying to barter badly.
Yeah.
I was just. In fact, I was going to do the same thing and just go, vast dear boy.
Are you
and just like under the. How much do we have in the coffers right now?
You put yourself on mute.
Yeah, mate, you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
Soz. Not a lot is the answer. About 17 gold.
All right, in that case, another time, dear boy. But certainly, how often would you say you get pieces like this in the future?
I mean, I can always set some orders in from some of the bigger towns. Maybe get a piece fashioned from some of the leather workers in town. I can't say a piece of like I have some perhaps if it's out of your budget. I can we have some other pieces that are perhaps a little less refined.
If it's something I can wear underneath but up my AC and it's like within pushy, then yeah, I just need to be less squishy. But if it's going to be a pain in the ass to do this whole shopping trip and going to be large, we'll just carry on.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Inside check.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think he's trying to pull a sell out of it one way or another. You would understand to a point that some of the more worn armors, I would say, that he has, would give you the AC, but would be more prone to wear. So they would be more likely to, say, fall apart if it came push to shove. Whereas the piece that you have would definitely stand up to scrutiny. Yeah.
Okay. In which case, I'll just say, like, your shop is a fine one, sir. I look forward to revisiting it when I can pay you in full. And sort of graciously leave with the penniless musician I am.
Yeah, we're doing fantasy simulations. Cool. All right.
It just feels real to me, damn it. I can't afford shit.
Is there any more things anyone would like to try and procure?
Where did we land on the potions?
The priests might have some.
Yeah. So it's the priest.
How
We need to.
long do we have to get back?
I wouldn't. I'd
Giza?
imagine. Yeah, I wouldn't imagine we have long, given some of the investigation roles we've had to sort of find these places.
Yeah, it's you've tarried somewhat. It's not been like an immediate first shop you walk into has got everything you need kind of thing. It has taken you a bit of time. It's probably closer to say probably about 10:30.
Right,
That reminds me. How long do you reckon I've got left on my coat?
Probably still a couple of hours.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'll come back afterwards.
Especially if he's trying to be discreet and not raise attention. He'll need to kind of put it under and do some bits and try not to not to gain the ire of anyone. For concealed goods, it's kind of suspicious.
Can we go to the twin shack?
Sure. Yeah. By this point, the town has very much woken up. Probably should do that there. The town is very much woken up. You make your way back down towards the residential areas, and you can see that it's quite It descends quite quickly into poverty in certain areas, and the twins, the shack that you were directed to. Oh fuck! I just nearly blew up my computer.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I threw
do
a player's handbook at it.
That was accidental by me. I don't know how I did that. I was on a completely different page, but we'll ignore that.
Okay. You make
He's insight checking Ian to see if he actually nearly blew up his computer.
Don't tell us the truth, DM.
And it's squalor. You know, it's very muddy. It's very run down. You managed to make your way towards the twin shack, as we were directed, and it's just like a lean-to of sorts. Probably about 15 foot wide, probably about 15 foot back again. The door is practically off its hinge, but it is shut. There is no discernible light from within.
Can I open the door?
Sure, yeah, it's not even locked. There's nothing there. You open it up, and without any resistance, just a creaky shed door, as it were, kind of swings open.
I just walk in. I don't really have any sort of my concept of manners and and things like that are quite alien. I think to this. So I just sort of walk in.
It's dark. It's dingy. There's a pair of hammocks, one on each side. There's a small sort of table, I guess, like a small sort of like circular dining table with a couple of chairs to it. There's a number of like foot lockers and a basin or two. There's a few strewn bottles and such. It's very poor.
Can I see my dagger?
Make an investigation check. Written around in the foot locker, you do find a small purse with 15-20 gold in it. 15 gold and like a small gemstone of sorts that you think might be worth about 5, and your dagger.
I take the dagger.
Okay.
I'm not going to take his money.
Very good. Yeah, you've reclaimed your dagger.
Okay, and I just leave the house and close the door.
Excellent.
Duche's just outside, pinched eyebrows, like, please tell me you didn't just steal something.
No, I just got my dagger back.
Oh,
Capital, lovely.
Excellent. So, you have acquired some minor supplies, reclaimed some gear, and the time is closing in on your meeting with the governor.
Alright.
Yeah, you make
Let's
your way
go.
over there. Brilliant. If it's all the same to you guys, I'm going to nip for a quick wee before we do this. So we'll take a couple of minutes if that's all right with you.
Right.
Beautiful. All right, cool. Yeah, we'll be back in 5 minutes, maybe less. We'll see. Won't be long.
No.
Well, tough. We are back, as I'm sure you're all
No.
aware. Yeah, cool. So you make your way towards the estate of Biffer Ratchley, and considering like the sheer sort of difference between the poverty-stricken kind of slum that the brothers live in and the sort of the relative opulence, like it's still not like the nicest manor you've seen by any stretch of the imagination. It's like, but it's still a stark contrast. Like if this was in like the posh part of a big city, still wouldn't be super posh. But like in this town in particular, it's worlds away from where the rest of the residents are.
Are you trying to say it's not in keeping with the
shit parts of Kensington?
It's kind of yeah. It's like the nicest house in Stoke, you know.
Are you trying to say it's not in keeping with the village's rustic aesthetic?
Absolutely. I mean, if by rustic you mean like, you know, septic. So, yeah, and you make your way.
Oh, I see this town was built by Armitage and Shrek.
Oh man, that's some NPC names coming up. Sure. Brilliant. So you make it to your to the door, and before you even have noticed, Neebs has already opened it and kind of bowing, ushering you in, kind of thing. Like it's like he was watching and expecting. He ushers you in, and like the smell of like incense is kind of filling the manor today. It's like a strange mix between like cooking meat somewhere and some stewing and just loads and loads of Febreze. You know, it's just fucking everywhere. It's almost
so basically our tour with Lagerstein pre-show.
Basically, yeah. And he comes out like from the side, and and Biffer's just there, and he's wearing like he looks more stately today than he did previously. In his yesterday's kind of affair, and he sees you and he kind of, gentlemen, welcome to my abode. Thank you for joining me today.
Your Grace, a pleasure as always. How hale and hearty you look today.
Yes, I slept so very well. Thank you for coming to see me. It occurs to me that our business was left somewhat unattended yesterday. Forgive me, but I believe most of you are rather strange in these areas. Of course, you're not as fluent in the geography of the land quite so much. And I mean, if I want to see,
that's just like your opinion, man.
If I want to see the end of this distress, that perhaps I could lend you some of my talents.
Any assistance you could provide us with, more than willing to accept.
Yes, quite. And he goes, Phoebes, and a different elderly gentleman comes out, almost identical to the previous one. Comes out. He says, "Yes, bring the documents. Bring them all." And he says, "Yes, right away, sir." And he shuffles off. And he says, "Gentlemen, with me." And he kind of just swans through with this sort of like stately grace. You're not even sure that like his feet are touching the floor. It's like he swans his way through. And it's for a large man, it's unusual, but it's practiced very much so. This is how he would absolutely be conducting himself.
If you hadn't said that, I was totally going to ask for an insight or perception check to see if I can tell the sort of practiced element, no, that's fine.
See, I was going to go the opposite way and find out if he's actually floating or not.
So, yeah.
It's all in the hipster, don't I look pretty?
And he pulls you through.
I don't know what sort of plot twist that'll be, he's just floating.
Pulls you through to a drawing room with a large dining table in it. And there's a small buffet at the back that he seems made up. And he says, "Gentlemen, help yourself."
It's the wine and cheese.
I mean, Neebs did say that he would provide, and I mean, it would be very gracious of me to see that my adventurers were treated finely, of course. And there is a selection of cheeses and wine.
I look at Neebs and say, "Good job."
He wordlessly kind of nods. A moment or two passes, and he kind of swans over to the head of the head chair at the table and sort of elegantly but over the top, so kind of dramatically sits down into the seat. And Phoebes runs in and unrolls a bunch of documents. He says, I had a night to think on our predicament of sorts, and good job, Neebs. And Neebs just sat there with a with a mandolin in the back. This is all very.
It's canon now.
And got me. And he's like, and it occurs to me that the old fort and surrounding ruins of our Amon Hung, as it were, you would need to know where you were going if I wanted to get a good return on this business decision that we're embarking upon.
Yes, that's a very, very good point, and I'm very surprised that we didn't think of that ourselves.
Yes. Well, it takes a man of great intellect and sway to be mindful of the details.
Whacker's just walked over to the buffet table and he's filling up on cheese.
Okay, excellent.
I'm already just there, just like with blocks of cheese on the end of my dagger.
You're just trying out your new hook dagger.
I want to see how well it cuts a block of the finest goblin salt.
I've got a glass of wine.
You're just trying not to cut your cheeks with it as you're sort of like cutting into your mouth with it. For it's slightly unusual.
It's just wine.
Be very careful. I'm like holding it like this again.
How does this wine stack up against the wine we had for breakfast?
It's significantly scaled up. It is deep and hearty and well refined. It is definitely a step above the samplers that you've been given. Not the samplers, but you know what I mean. The Malbec.
Speaking of the Malbec, would that have, given a few hours of walking around, and it was only like week one, would that have worn off more or less now?
Yeah, I mean, you weren't disadvantaged as a result of it. No. Certainly not you.
We were just doing really bad rolls.
I just need to retain the buzz.
Yeah.
No, so I will not markedly, but I won't go for the wine. Maybe just get like a pitcher of water and just keep my senses about me for this one.
Oh well.
If he's got any squash.
Some cordial.
Got any Robinsons?
Any Vimto?
Got a lemon barley.
He doesn't, but there is a pitcher of water there that you can just have
Yeah.
if you'd like. The only fruit juice he drinks is wine.
Good man in how much these things go. Okay, so Neve's got some documents out, and I'm just going to sort of beeline for them and sort of peruse the documentation.
Yeah, so Biffer sat there and he's going through it, and he's like, so we are here in the glorious arsehole of the world in fucking Dingleberry. God damn it, Russ, you threw me off earlier. In Dingleberry, and he shows you the coast map, and it kind of makes its way on the southern coast edge of the peninsula, and there's like an intersection of crossroads. A bit further down, there's the village of Herpes. A bit further down from that is the lake town of Lake Flaccid, and then that joins into the central capital area of Prost. And he says, never mind all of that.
So Lake Placid just fucking got me.
Is anyone else just imagining some gigantic, impotent alligator just like swirling around?
Not like doing synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
tangent. Sorry.
and he he sort of draws his hand further north, and there's like a mountainous area and a series of lakes and rivers that kind of veer their way northward, directly north from Dingleberry, and up at that point is where Amon Hung is sat. And he says, well, as far as I can see, boys, there's really 3 approaches you could take here that would give you an array of distress, but I figure which it would be remiss of me not to discuss them with you. So he says, you have one route, the direct route, and he sort of draws his finger northwards over. Take the mountain pass up across, make your way across some of the rivers, maybe a day or 2. Very dangerous. It's the most direct route. And he comes back down, wheels his way across, take the coastal road, cut through the forest, and then it joins into like a second coastal route that kind of is more like northern based on the peninsula. He says, take your way up there, make your way back. You wouldn't have a good night's rest on the way, but provided you don't come into any trouble in the forests, you could make it there in a day and a half. And then he takes the long way towards Herpes, and he says, "There's a coaching inn here at the intersection between the northern and southern roads. There's an inn there. Stop off for the night. They're good folks. Tell them I sent you. They're fine people." And he says, "And you can make your way across the North Coast Road with probably the least amount of resistance, but it would take 2 days." And, for effect, I'm going to show you.
Maps! Maps!
It's maps.
Man's got maps!
Man's got maps. Alright.
Man's got maps.
Hey, maps out.
For days.
Get your maps out for the lads. Alright, let me... map for this map-ass pussy.
Or Dingleberry!
There we are.
There we are. Right, now for the feed. There we go! So I can show you the rest of it, but I'm not going to because I've not filled it all in. All the locations are there, but you're not able to see it for now. But yeah, so in terms of his approach...
Okay, so I'm guessing that each square is no longer 5 feet.
Probably not, no. It would be
rough estimate.
So I don't know if I can show you guys using the map tool on this. If I can do it here. No, it's not showing on that side. Okay, I'll do it on here instead. There we go. So you're saying the direct route across the mountains is like there, but it's quite treacherous sort of way. There is a pass that goes the way through here. This way is the second way. The slightly less treacherous, but still potentially problematic. And then you've got the coast road that takes you to here, where there's an inn, and then right across this one, then up.
Okay, whilst we're looking at it, Your Grace, if I may, being a port town, is there no way to charter any available ships around this coastal area to reach?
He says, well, I had considered, however, the journey would probably take around the same amount of time, in the sense that because there is no way to there wouldn't be many ports in the north.
Like if we were to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, it would still take you a good day and a half, at least, to do it, because you'd have to get up there, and then once you've docked wherever it is you make landfall, you'd still have to make your way through some of the mountains. It's worth noting that you guys had to hire a child last time, so you wouldn't be able to do it yourself.
I have to say, Neebs is much better on the guitar than he is on the recorder.
You see that Neebs is playing both instruments at the same time, and shoots you a look.
Okay, so Neebs is Orpheus, just a really shit Orpheus.
And at your
Oh God.
at your insult, he stops playing immediately. Shoots you a glance and takes out his trombone. And then gets back to what he does better. And you can see Biffer's very much like, yeah, you see why I hire these boys? They are just wonderful.
Dear.
Okay, so is our mission time sensitive?
Well, I didn't even know where the fortress, where the issue was coming from. So you've already given yourselves the closest thing. I mean, of course, I would rather it be prompt, but I'd rather it was also done with competency. I don't want to put you at undue risk. We are.
So the obvious
quite
choice is to take the long route.
It really depends on your capabilities and how comfortable you are with risk. Were I to make the journey, I would take the roads, but I would consider myself perhaps a little more of a target than some of you fine gentlemen.
So, mountain path is the treacherous one, so
Yep.
I like to go that way.
Yep.
And if we go like sort of this way, it's not as dangerous, but still, exercise caution.
Yeah, you would.
I mean, that
there is
like
there is
bad.
like
And then this way is just like baby mode.
there is
Easy mode.
there is
Easy, normal, and hard mode.
there is a forest. There is a pathway that cuts through the forest, but it is less maintained. Presumably because there isn't exactly much of a settlement to the north. But you find that like foresters and such do like harvesting and such up here. And certainly the guy Dingleberry themselves would be harvesting some of the wood for the shipwrights.
So it's a choice between bandits and highwaymen.
It's safe enough for the people of Dingleberry. I think it's safe enough for
I'm going to ask the governor, is there any ever trouble in the forests at all?
There's talk of brigands sometimes. They do lurk. Strange folk occasionally. None of quite the strangeness of you fine gentlemen, of course, but it's an odd one. Wolves, spiders, all sorts of creepy crawlies in forests. If you go looking hard enough in the darker areas.
Noted.
Anyone ever go missing in the forest?
Oh, all the time. Recently? Well, that's another question entirely. It's more that I worry with the recent troubles that there's perhaps more desertion in these towns, in this area. They try and make them way back into, let's say, the more stable inlands of Prost. I don't know if you've noticed, but we are painfully exposed out here.
Yes, I know how.
Your sort of rough sack kind of hemp trousers begin to unwind and split at the utter mention of their of your exposure.
Yes, well, they were going to fall apart eventually.
What do we think, everyone? I'm happy to take. I think the mountain route is probably off the cards by the sounds of it. But
I think we should find out what's behind door number 2. And take them.
I agree.
I take the forest route.
There's information to be had where there's trouble. Not too much, of course, but there's information to be had that maybe we would not glean from the long route.
I'm very surprised you didn't go for the end route where there would be a bath.
And they are fine folks.
One must suffer for their art.
On the way back, maybe.
Well,
Yes.
Shall I? Would you?
Unless we feel magically stronger on the way back.
Would you?
Traverse the mountain.
Would you prefer me to send word forward to the Rusty Trombone, or get them prepared for your arrival?
Well, it would be. Well, we could always go through the forest and then go for a reach around, as it were, on the way back.
Delicious.
Let's reach around via the Rusty Trombone on the return.
On the return, yes. Well, it could well be that we can.
Yes, we know, Neebs. We know.
I think that was at least worth a badum-dum, but fine.
Is it intentional that the road is dial?
The road is what? Sorry.
Somewhat.
For example, if you did a couple that, then you've got
Yeah.
Well, I would never deem to draw more dicks in this land than there already are.
Yeah, it's fine when the DM does it, but when we're doing that, we're fucking up the maps, guys.
And you're kind of drawing it around, and Biffer's like, that does seem a rather roundabout route. I mean, why would you go into the water first? I don't understand. It doesn't serve any purpose. Bori would be very upset.
maybe I want to take a dip.
Taking a dip. Yes. Alas, gentlemen.
Yes.
That needed a sub problem.
With we wish to make this with all due haste, Your Grace. I would wager me and my party would venture through the woods. Maybe we can do you the honor of routing out some trouble for you whilst we're there. If, as you say, you are dealing with deserters. But certainly I would not imagine we would be against the comforts of this Rusty Trombone on our way home.
I stop there every time. Their bards are exceptionally good.
I will be the judge of that.
Where do you think I found this one? You turn around and Neebs is sat at a big harp now instead that wasn't previously in the room. You're very impressed. He's managed to drag it in throughout this conversation and just start ambiently.
How old is he?
He's got
like his
stealth
70s.
plus 64.
Yeah, he's very much in his
Good.
70s. Yeah. Worth every penny.
Is he like
I'll just roll a stealth check higher than his age if he managed to drag
what's he
it
called
out.
from Archer?
Yeah, let's do
I'm
it.
picturing him.
Oh,
Woodhouse.
Woodhouse. Yeah,
Woodhouse, yeah.
yeah. Opiate problems is what in all. Potentially, you don't know. Excellent. He says, "Well, quite. If that is established, then here." And he claps, and Phoebes comes back in. He says, "Phoebes, sketch make a copy of this map for them, will you?" And he goes, "Yes, right away." And he pulls out a pad and sketches the map, and it's like it takes like seconds. And he turns around and it's like just beautifully recreated. And it's just every penny.
That is one hell of a performance check. You should be rolling for Phoebes and Neebs just to see how badly this is going to go.
Well, I rolled a 19, a 14, and then a nat 20, so I think they're fine.
I just kind of pick up the map so it's in front of my face, like turn to the other guys, go, "Holy shit! The man's a Renaissance."
Now, if I must insist, gentlemen, please partake in wine and cheese. But I have another portrait to be had.
Certainly. Before we leave Your Grace to his, obviously, fine portraits, for which I am sure will enthuse many to come.
Well, Phoebes is an artist.
Certainly so. if we were to make this route through the forest, how best would you advise make the route? Would you advise horseback? Certainly your grand personage would take a carriage, of course, but certainly, what would you recommend for expediency of travel, on foot or on horse?
I suppose that really depends on your ability to purchase or rent.
I think what we're saying, Your Grace, is do you have any horses?
Oh, me, no.
We could
Livestock,
perchance
never.
sequester.
That's filthy beasts. They're not my purview, no. I'm more into art and literature.
I'm going to do an insight check to see if that's because he can't afford them or if he did.
Sure, yeah, make an insight check.
Yeah, dude. Do it. Jesus, the governor should have stables.
I think he's too poor for horses.
You do notice a crack in his demeanour. That while the opulence is there, you do think it's mismanaged.
He's too poor for horses. Cool.
Oh, okay. Whilst we are pertaining to this mission as well, may we have the honour of saying we are doing this under your Grace's patronage? Nothing so tortured as any financial implications from yourself at this juncture, but certainly your name may open doors that otherwise may be closed to some people of our visage.
I think a writ could be presented. Yes, why not? What harm could it possibly do?
You're only too kind, Your Grace.
And he goes, Phoebes, take this down. And he annotates a small writ of patronage of sorts for at least the next month. It is, under contract, and Phoebes presents it to him, and he does a nice, large, opulent, flowery signature at the bottom.
Okay, I took that carefully into just like the. I'm assuming I'm a bard. I'll have side pockets. Fuck it.
Yeah,
just slide it into the
As
chest
many
pocket.
as me!
excellent.
I just got more made.
Yeah, brilliant. He says, gentlemen, I fear I have taken too much of your time.
No, certainly not, Your Grace. Too much of yours.
Oh.
And bow.
There's you narrowly miss cracking heads as he kind of dips.
Court training has allowed me to avoid such.
He swans away through to another room through like a curtain, and he's like, "Phoebes, follow. Neebs, see them out." And
as we leave, I'll just like grab a flagon of wine and just see what I was missing out on and trying to stay sober.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I think we just we picked the buffet clean,
Yeah,
like
sure.
stuff it into our pockets and that.
Brilliant. Yeah. Just cheese in every pocket. Excellent.
So much cheese.
Man, I wish I knew more about cheese. Excellent. So, Neebs has stood there. He puts away all of his instruments, I think.
Was it a day and a half via Route 2?
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, for the forest
And
route.
it's halfway through the day at the moment, isn't it? So I guess
Yeah, it's approaching one.
if we leave now, we could do half a day's travel and make camp.
You could take away the biggest part of me. Yeah,
Well, we could do that, I suppose.
excellent.
Yes, I suppose.
I think before we do that, I want my funky coat. I want my technical green coat back.
Yep, your funky coat, Medina.
And
That's fine.
I think now. I think that now we have the writ from the governor, we should look into acquiring some potions.
Somewhat.
Local monastery.
That's assuming that the local religion works under the supervision of the governor.
Well, that is a supposition.
Sorry to make everything harder for everyone. I'm just thinking how this shit
No,
goes.
hardly. So, yeah.
I'm pretty sure Ian will have a decision on that already planned.
Maybe not.
I
It
have
really
faith.
depends. So, yeah, what do you guys want to do? Well, your pockets are now bulging with various dairy.
Personally, I think we should hit the road.
Darius.
Yeah. Let me just think. So we need to look into the potential of potions. If we're taking the more raggedy route through the first, and then we either need to think about enlisting someone who is maybe is it a Wainwright who works with the ships, or shipwright, or someone who will get the wood and deal with that.
That'd be like a forester.
Yeah, like a proper forester. Maybe see like a sort of almost like a Sherpa trade off of just like someone who knows their way through, maybe knows the most where not the fuck to go under any circumstances. Person maybe as a sort of guide.
Yeah, I mean you could certainly look around.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I will go to. Once we've done like the shopping, my plan will be to go to Borry, down on Lower Dingleberry, and just sort of plug in for the information of who he knows within the sort of industry and who he knows would be best.
Okay. If that's what the rest of you agree with, that's
if you guys are okay with it.
Vass just wants to go, man.
Yeah, I want to go too.
I mean, I want to go back out and, like, obviously we've got the priests who may be able to deal with some potions for us. Are they down more towards the dock area, or are
they are, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine it should take too long. We just need to, like, you know, I was going to heal yourselves. People like,
yeah,
I can't.
I was just saying, like, I have put up with your bullshit for the last couple of days. You can at least put up with my preparation. All right, to the. I would say, yeah.
Do what you want, man. It's D&D. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Let's go get his coat first, then.
Mm-hmm. So you return to the merchant area, the market squares and stuff. The tailor is there, and he is kind of oh yes, I have your order for you. All the extra length has been added.
Phrasing.
Perfect. Can't wait to see your work, and I'm going to inspect it and see what he's got.
Sure, yeah. As bless you. As you're inspecting that, he's inspecting the rather rough affair that Waka is kind of hulking out of somewhat. Says, I can. No, you don't look like you have any money.
Ooh, what do you mean by that?
He says, well, I do have some.
I think he means you look like you don't have any money.
You look in need of a good pair of trousers, and I happen to carry a few sets with my on my person.
What makes you think I need trousers?
Well, I can see your legs through those ones.
Good.
Very well. You inspect the garment, the funky coat Medina, and it is sufficiently funky.
Is that canon now? It's
That's
called
canon.
the
Funky Coat Medina, it is now.
The thing is, if I'd thought about it before, that would be in my homebrew items now for something entirely different. But you've got the funky coat Medina, so yeah. And it is of decent make and manufacture. You're pleasantly surprised at the work he's managed to do under a short amount of time.
Your work is very much appreciated, and I shall be sure to pass your name along to anybody who inquires about my garments.
Well, be sure to let your big friend know. He has a curious taste.
Shall next time we meet.
An unused thimble is a wasted thimble. So if you'll excuse me, he starts just patching away various bits, and sort of dealing with other people.
I'm just going to look at it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, perfect. Excellent.
You've purchased this
Purchasing
DVD.
this coat, yes. By purchasing this coat, you're supporting Dingleberry's local tailoring industry. Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right, we headed to the temple now then for the healing shite.
I reckon so.
Yes.
I might not get anything out of it, but try.
Let's crack on.
Okay. So you make your way down the down from Upper Dingle to Lower Dingle, and again it's busy. It's a work day. The winch is operational, and as you get halfway down, it is suddenly not. You hear like a clanking and like the occasional sort of like creaking and snapping, and it seems like something stopped. You can hear the various workmen at the top and bottom shouting at each other, trying to figure it out. And he says, "Where's that bloody tinker when you need him?"
Dead.
Are we on? Oh, all right. We're not taking the stairs. We're taking the winch. If we're on the winch,
because you're not goods.
Yeah.
We are not good.
But you're about halfway down, and you realize you notice it's juttering and stopping, and seems in need of a service. But is
I'll turn to Vast and just say, "Could your mage hand do a little bit of a ee?"
Could my mage hand do a little bit of an E?
An E. Make a very obvious, horrible tugging motion that looks all the worst.
Yes, it can do that. Yes.
You want to have a wank?
I wouldn't be against it before a journey, but certainly I was thinking if you could just help these fuckers out, as you've given them quite enough grief over the last few days.
You want to give them a wank?
If you're offering, big boy.
he is proficient with his two-handers.
Is it?
The winch? Probably about 50 feet. But I mean the whole cliffside is probably about 150 feet in height as it scales.
Yeah. So no, I don't think I can.
Very well, onwards.
Excellent. So
Shall we sit and help? I don't think I can. Fine, fuck it, let's go.
Chaotic good, dude. Chaotic good.
So you make it to the bottom of the into Lower Dingle, and make your winding way towards the temple, and it's an open plan kind of situation. As you approach it, you can see it. So there's a series of columns with a large statue at the back. It's almost like a seating area that comes around, like almost like a Colosseum, but it's not like layered, just like a series of curved stone pews. Like an open air kind of situation with the pillars that make their way up. There's maybe like 8 on each side, that kind of thing. At the back, there's this large sort of statue of a man bound in rags. His eyes are covered, his body is covered, and he opens his hands out in like offering, in like sort of submission, an honor, an offering of submission of sorts. And that's just kind of just stood there like with an air of acceptance. There's a number of people milling around. There's a few people praying. Mostly women. There's a couple of acolytes making their way around, sort of studying texts and such. You do see Lady Verda milling around the altar and the statue.
Is there a gift shop?
There can be, if you want. There can be a gift shop. Would you like there to be a gift shop?
Does it sell
Can I get like a tiny magnet of that statue to put on my fridge that doesn't exist yet?
Yeah. Just stick it on your carriage. I mean, you have seen totems in the carriage of the Malbecs pertaining to Kipu. So you do know they exist.
Shall we go to? I'll go to speak to Lady Verda
Yeah.
as the one person I recognise in this place.
The named NPC in this area. She sees you as you come over and say, "Ah, yes, our illustrious adventurers. That goblin had quite a lot to say about you."
I'm sure he did. Why? What did he say?
I'm uncertain as to whether or not you're not working with him. To be honest, I'm unconvinced.
Okay.
Kotrick convinced me it wasn't to worry about it, but you're odd folk.
Do you have any potions of healing?
Okay.
Yeah, we do. We find the Lord of Pain requires some restoratives at times. Why, are you in the market?
Yes. Well,
That would
we
make
came
sense
from
if
the
you were asking.
market, but now we're in the temple. But yes.
Excellent. I overheard someone saying
You like Drax?
they wanted some magnets of sorts. We don't know what they are, but we do have totems.
Take a token.
Yeah. Well, may the Lord of Pain be with you.
Do they have?
Do you have that on the cap?
Under pain of death, Dingleberry. It says, yeah, we have a number of curatives, sure. They would be going for 70 gold a pop, but taxation, as you were.
Everything's so expensive here.
That's unfortunately the way when it comes to goods in a time of war. It seems
Yeah, so even-
it seems the
Yeah,
kingdom's
even when one
peripheral.
is
actually
I'm
working for the war.
gonna lean over to Duché. It's like the thing. The thing.
Magnificently subtle as always. I just pop forward and just kind of produce the writ. As you can see, my good lady, we are actually on business for the war effort as this stands. We are currently in patronage to the governor at this juncture, and certainly our payment for such an endeavour will surely go towards paying for the curatives that you have in store. Unfortunately, this is a case of payment upon completion, which we are more than happy to enter into contract with you in order to fulfill such payment to yourselves.
Make a persuasion check.
Come on, I don't have a +6 on this for nothing,
put
please.
Put it at disadvantage. In fact, you are asking to get.
No,
this for
yeah,
free.
no. I figured that would be the case. This is going to be good. Yeah, it's not.
She kind of grins and says, "Oh, the governor is a strange character. Tell you what, how about I put it on his tab for 100 gold apiece, and we'll see."
I like that very much.
No, you don't.
I think we can all.
No,
I think we can all agree with these circumstances.
ignore them. They're quite addled with wine at this juncture.
I can smell.
What are you on about? She's saying she'll give it us for free and charge the governor for it.
Yes, the
That's
governor
great.
was-
That's perfect.
the governor
do
that
that.
was currying favour for. Will you all just shut up and let me deal with this?
We'll be fine.
you
He'll
say-
talk his way out of it. He can't
Can
even
we have
afford
one
his own
each,
horse.
One each.
4 potions, please.
Okay. I can make that happen. And she
We seem like people who can handle your strongest potions.
she calls over an acolyte, and sadly the stronger potions are with the military these days. But we have a number. And she whispers to an acolyte who hurries away. Comes back a moment later with a series of blue vials. This is 100 gold apiece to the governor. These can work if you'd like. They're not the strongest, but they'll get you out of a pinch.
I will, at this juncture, with full knowledge of fucking you guys, turn around and say, and if, given this very generous offer, as I always say, I mean, the governor obviously is a very powerful man, but maybe not the most patient. We are on a journey. How much would you ask were you to withhold the chasing of payment for, if only a week, in the event of our return? If we don't return, we're dead, and you get the money and the chasing of the governor with this writ of patronage. Wait but a week for us to arrive, and we'll see if we can settle this debt.
Make a further persuasion check. In fact, are you being persuasive or are you deceiving?
I'm sort of persuading. I have no doubt the love of the governor is quite low, so I'm just assuaging the point of pissing the hierarchy off.
Okay.
So I'm just like, okay.
You can see she's mulling it over, and it's a difficult call. You look around, and there's a number of people who are ailing somewhat, and she eyes them over and says, "Let me be frank. If we don't get paid for these, we can't get more. And if we don't get more, these people will suffer. So I will chase it up, but I will give you a couple of days. No more. I will, however."
When we say a couple of days,
she says, I could be persuaded to leave it a week, were you to make an offering.
What offering would be befitting for you and your kind? Would it be offering in payment or offering more akin to the wants of your god?
They served a lot of pain, so.
And she takes out a small vial. It says, perhaps a small morsel of your being could be held in, let's say, exchange. Just on the off chance.
I will.
I'm not sure if they're going to let you have a small morsel.
I'll take out my new dagger and just test how sharp it is and say, I shall make an offering. I'll just cut the palm of my hand.
And she undoes the stopper and fills it up. Takes a minute or so to sufficiently be full, and you see
her
her
a proper squeeze as well, so they don't want.
And she closes it off, cleans her hands with it, and then prestidigitates some. Well, maybe it's not prestidigitation, but she prestidigitates it clean, and you see like a phasing go across it before she puts it back away. Says,
and with this offering, we have your word of a week's grace, milady.
I think that I can deal with that.
Wonderful. So how many potions do we get off the back of this then?
4.
4. Okay. Like 4 basic
healing potions.
Potion of healing.
Right, potion of healing. Right. Okay. I will probably just say if spread it between. It's 4. I would. Who's? I would say Vast. You're the squishiest, really, but who is also the most inclined to get into trouble.
I mean, you're level 2. You're all pretty squishy.
Yeah, but I can
just have one each.
Myself.
Yeah, well,
it's not about how squishy we are, because if someone goes down, you can pour the potion into their mouths to get them back up again. So it might be worth just everyone having one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so.
Plus, I'm pretty sure my AC is actually higher than yours and Sladen's.
Okay, no worries. where does that enter into the? You know what? Can we just note that down? We'll deal with the
Sure.
D20 beyond shit later.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have your potions. You have made a deal and provided an offering.
Let's fuck off.
Let's go.
Okay. We'll walk off, and just as we're walking off, I'm just like, a pointer lesson, gentlemen, in how to deal with royalty. Don't piss them off by lending them a tab.
He already had one open.
He already had a tab, yeah. We just used it. Have you ever heard of business expenses?
Have you ever heard of fucking off the royalty in the area? It doesn't go well.
We don't know
I guess
yet.
we'll see what happens, won't we? But now we have potions. Now let's leave.
Let's go.
Excellent. So,
Yeah.
were you making your way back up to Upper Dingle and out of the town?
Yeah, we. I wanted to find our way to Borry if possible to see if we can go find a forester guide.
Okay, yeah, you can absolutely find him. He's not difficult to find. You see him struggling with lots and lots and lots of goods. Still doing a lot more of the manual labour than you would anticipate from a harbour master.
I kind of whisper over to Waka. Don't suppose you could pop over and help him load some boxes? Be
Why?
a sport. Be a sport. I'm not asking you to drag anything everywhere, just help him load them on.
God damn it. Fine.
And
Hey,
yeah,
Barry, we'd just help you for no reason.
that's music to my ears, big one. All right, let's get cracking. There's a couple of copper in it for you for the day.
Oh, nice. Thank you very much. I'll take that.
Make an
And there
athletics
in the
check.
Make what?
An athletics check.
I didn't hear that, sorry.
Beautiful. Yeah, effortlessly, you put your mass to work and just begin loading onto this small ship that's there. And Borry's like, "Oh, in a couple of hours' time, we'll be done. This will be amazing. Thank you."
Unfortunately, Borry, as much as we would love to help you for a few hours, we don't have the time. We're more than happy to have our man help you for the time being, but we actually need a favour from you, and as ever, we will not keep you long. If you needed to find a forester, knew his way through the forest, knew how to get there and back safely,
Sure.
who would you recommend?
I honestly don't really know. I would probably look for them in a forest. That would be a good place to start if you're looking for a forester. That's all dealt up that way.
Waka, put the boxes down. We're heading off. Come on.
But he said he'd pay me!
Come on.
Hey, big man, if you ever get tired of hauling that sword around, I've got plenty of boxes that need putting in place.
No.
Really?
Those Waka retires from the party.
To fill the open position of Jalad. So
And I'm just going to storm off, muttering under my breath, like, fucking useless, fucking Luddites, fucking everywhere, don't know anything.
excellent. The labor shortage is apparent in Dingleberry at the minute.
Okay. Fuck it then. To the forest?
Yep.
The forest!
Forest. To the
Go
forest.
right away!
It's a forest
Let's
there.
not running randomly.
Excellent. So you Naruto run your way up to Upper Dingle.
This doesn't look like Area 51.
No, you don't. Ow. However, you do see that the winch is still giving the workmen a bit of shit, to the point where a few of them have had to start hauling up the pathway, so making it back up to Upper Dingle, with the increased sort of traffic, is a little slower going, but it's doable. it's probably close to maybe 2, half 2 at this point. By the time you make your way towards the front exit of Dingleberry.
Okay. Let's get a jog on.
Wonderful. Right. Well, before we head out, then I'm gonna take a break and go for a wee
Okay.
while I set up the travel music. So yeah, thanks for sticking around with us. We shall be back momentarily once I figure out how to use my computer.
So, what are we doing again?
We've been over this. He shows up. Grab him. Do we bag him?
How?
A few quick jabs to the ribs just for good measure.
There we
Excellent.
go.
We are back. I decided right then that I really wanted a banana, but I don't have one, and I'm sad now. So, wonderful. We're at the verge of Dingleberry. You guys have seen out of the time before, though you haven't. What's it called? Taking stock of it particularly. You've kind of been around the perimeter more than anything. You weren't looking outwards. You were still kind of with an inward kind of inflection to the situation. So we're getting a proper good look at it in perhaps a more lackadaisical setting where you're perhaps not chasing after some goblins who might get away in the next hour or so.
Have you prepared world map music this time?
You know what? I didn't because I was too busy peeing. Let me see what I've got here. What have I got here? It's I've got loads of stuff. It's just I need to figure out which ones are good. That's the thing. Oh, there we go. That sounds like a nice one. Let's see how that goes. Daytime on the farm. Yeah, it might not be music, but it's
We're just gonna have like random cow noises, aren't we?
I was going to say, as we set off, and it's just like, upon the hearth, the fire is red, beneath the roof.
So yeah, you make your way out into the wilderness of the Papilloma Peninsula, and there is a significant sort of woodland and plains and grassland. You can see a number of mountains in the distance. The horizon from this sort of area is just stretches out, like you get a wonderful view once you're out of the town. You're making your way. In fact, let me shift over to the map one for the stream, so we can really appreciate the journey, I guess. Let's go. There's a big old dick. A clever man would have put the forest gap a little further up, but I'm not a clever man. Anyway, so yeah, what are you doing? What's your approach? I know you kind of discussed it, but where would you want to go? How do you want to do this? The weather's great. The grassland is quite tall. The road is fairly well worn, fairly well established. Oh, there's the cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's it's
Look, a cow.
Let me see what else I've got.
But yeah, I think this is the general direction that we're going.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, we don't want hell. That's not a good one. I thought it said hill.
Oh my
and
God.
I was like, hill. That sounds great.
I was going to say, hell. Oh my God, the cow's been put in a rotisserie. Oh God.
It's a hell cow.
I actually don't know if I've got any. I'll have to
Heathen
look.
bovine.
It's
I mean, funny, a cow on a rotisserie doesn't sound like hell to me. That sounds like a hearty fucking meal.
Oh, dude, I know, right?
Rotisserie cow.
well. Anyway, let's remove the testicles from this if we can.
Aww.
I don't know if I can.
Can you imagine the strength of a rotisserie required to do a cow?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, so you make your way. Oh, no, I've just moved the map. Let's not do that. Oh, God, I'm awful at this. Wonderful. So, you start to make your headway eastwards. And it's really good weather for it. The sea breeze is quite pleasant. The salt in the air is still quite quite wonderful. You can see like exposed cliffs and such on the various bits. The road is probably not as close to the cliff as you would expect, though you establish that it's like, as the continent itself is this part of the continent, at least anyway, is tilting, that perhaps when the road was more established it was closer to the water, but as more of the land is raised and sinking out of the way with the various tremors, that it's perhaps making it more difficult. Yeah. And as you're making your way eastwards on the road, it's relatively easygoing. There's a few cows here and there. For some reason, there's some farmland. A few of the farms do seem to be abandoned. Some sort of decaying kind of ruins and stuff. You think the monster attacks are perhaps also affecting the sort of the more rural industries and regions of the area. After perhaps maybe an hour or so, you come across a wagon with a number of merchants at the side of a road, and they're working around their back, one of their back rear wheels of their carriage, of the wagon, and it seems to have snapped off. They as you see you approach, they wave. Oh, hello, hello, gentlemen. I suppose you could help us, could you?
Ooh. Let me just double check something while we're on that.
What do you need help with?
Well, we're perhaps not strong enough to lift our wagon. Would you mind helping us so we can get this wheel back on and make our way?
Check.
Insight check. Make an insight check.
I've seen this story before.
They seem like they're being honest, as far as you can tell. It's a couple of sort of men in their 30s. They are carrying blades, but that's not uncommon if you're traveling. The wagon itself is loaded with boxes of assorted goods, from what you can tell. Bless you.
Okay. Well,
Could have sworn I had a tinkering kit with me, but apparently not. So forget that.
well, if
Oh wait, no, I do. I do have tinker's tools.
if you need a lift,
Bless
Excuse
you.
me.
If Waka does the lift, is there a check that I can do to see if there's anything I can do with my tinkerer's tools to sort of
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
the wheel? When you say it's snapped, is it going to be like a?
it's the axle itself is snapped, but they seem to have replaced it on the wheel, and they're just trying to affix it high enough that they can winch it back
Oh, it's
on.
pure strength. All right, I'll let Waka just do his thing then. Yeah.
I want to watch them help, but I'm just keeping an eye out for any funny business. Basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my hand underneath my jacket and just sort of get a light grip on one of my daggers.
Okay.
Noticing the other two, I'm just going to do like samurai style, thumb behind the hilt of the rapier, ready to just like snap out the blade as and when. But otherwise, looking quite calm about it.
Okay. Yeah, and they look over to Waka in particular, being the sort of the big man, kind of looking to step up somewhat. He says, "Yeah, if you don't mind, we'll just if we could make an athletics check if you would like to help."
athletics check.
Consistent. I like it. That's 2 20s. Yeah, you successfully heave up this wagon to the point where the guys are like, whoa, like they're like you almost flip it with the sheer strength. But they get it up and they're like, okay, cool, hold it. One, like the rest of them are kind of holding under it, and one of them's going under and affixing the axle to where it needs to be. And he pulls himself out. He says, "Right, okay, I think that'll do it." They drop and they put it down, and it holds. And they turn around and say, "Oh, thank you so much. We would have been here for hours. You know, no idea what could have got us if we couldn't get these goods to Dingleberry. Got a bit
Glad to help.
of business to do."
Very welcome.
You lot seem the adventuring type. There was a couple of types passing the other way, and when we stopped off at the Rusty Trombone last night, there was some murmuring of some lights in the to the north, somewhat eerie lights. After the tremors the other day, one of them said they went to investigate and saw there was an open door. It's not really the type of thing we could look into, but I mean, if you wanted, there was might be a tomb. I know there's been numbers. There's all sorts of ruins around this area. Might be worth having a look. I don't know.
They saw an open door.
They saw a door that wasn't there. So there was marked by a big tree, and then some strange lights, and apparently appeared on the road the other day, according to these other adventurers, merchants, I should say, not adventurers. We're all adventurers in our own way, really, aren't we? They kind of spooked them, so they doubled pace, and we got to talking and drinking, and feel in kind, because we can't exactly repay your efforts, but information.
If we found the door, we will look into it. Literally.
They said there was this big tree in so at the top of this sort of hill area. It seems to have cracked. It's a little ways back down the road.
This we're on now.
Yeah. Probably
in the Rusty Trombone.
A couple hours down that way somewhere.
Before you leave, what merchandise may you be trading in?
Hides, tanner's goods. Got a little bit of grain too. Kind of a bit of all sorts, really. Why are you in the market for anything?
If I can kind of look into when they say hides, is there anything of like a think sort of hide come camouflage?
How do you mean?
Like, is there any hides that are like nondescript kind of colours blending with the forest kind of thing? Just to kind of have a glance in.
Not really.
Okay.
It does just seem like tanned leather, mostly.
Let's be honest, I'm fucked anyway.
Okay. Lovely stuff you have there. Well, we wish you well, and thank you for your information.
Aye, well, it's good to see some helpful people. We've had a few pass us and just ignore us. I didn't realise we looked quite so shady. I appreciate it.
No problem. Anytime.
Yeah.
You can put the wagon down now. Look.
Okay.
Slam.
The donkey at the front brays somewhat at the sudden shift of weight on its reins, but the guys hop back on and say, "Well, these goods aren't going to deliver themselves. I hope they've got a lot of money." Says, "I'll see. Well, safe journey, and see he's on the road," and begin to make their way back down the road from whence you came.
So shall we chase this door then?
I'm in two minds. One part of me thinks we should get the job we're here to do done as soon as possible, and then pick up anything else afterwards.
The door may be there for some time. The job we have to do, it needs doing now.
However, if we do change our route and solve this door mystery and maybe go to the inn, we might get more supplies, information, experience before going to the fortress.
My God, are you actually talking about pre-planning? Good Lord. Can I do an insight check?
Sure, yeah.
Hitherto, this is not...
So check on what experience means.
No, insight check on what his actual
Fucking
demeanor...
shady bitch.
It's like, he has gun-hoed into every other situation. He's looking into pre-planning now. I want to insight check that shit.
Oh my. With a 19, Vast. Were you telling the truth? Were you deceiving? Were you persuading?
Are you gunning for a fight, or are you just wanting to carry on? And
I just don't want to piss about, mate. Let's do something.
Then on we fuck.
Wonderful stuff. So, as you guys have had this conversation, and the other gentlemen have kind of made their way a bit more out of earshot. By the end of it, I would say, you continue your travel eastwards. Another hour or two passes. So you're approaching maybe 5, I would say, at this point. And you make it to the intersection where the forest begins to separate somewhat, heading north. You have the
Get off the road.
Yeah, it's very, very much that kind of that level of density. It's still a road. It is unkept, but definitely traversable. And then you have the coastal road heading further to the east. What would you like to do?
I don't actually mind. Does anyone feel strongly one way or the other?
I'm intrigued by this door.
Yeah, I know that we have something to do, and I didn't want to know what's going on with that door, man. What's cracking there? My interest and trousers have both been equally piqued.
Bard.
Let's head through the forest. If we find this door, we can investigate it and note its location at the least. But I say we soldier
the doors
on.
To the east.
Oh, the east. Oh, so it's towards the mountain ranges.
It's probably another, by the gist of the amount of time it's taking to get to this point, and versus where they'd said it was, it's probably like maybe 1 or 2 hours further to the east.
I'd suggest that if we did go to do that, then we'd pretty much have to follow up by going to the inn to rest. Again, that time.
Yeah. On the other hand, we could just head through, do what we're going to do, come back and get the inn for more information, and then loop right back down to the door and deal with that on our way back to Dingleberry on our return back.
Assuming, of course, the only people with
Assuming we're still
thing about this is Amon Hung is there.
I thought you said Amon Holmes again.
Amon Holmes.
Amon Holmes is there. What? Let's go.
Amon Holmes is hung, and that's forever. That's established. However,
I don't know.
I don't know how long that door's going to last.
Fuck your
It's
cannon.
true.
I mean, at least I know.
Right.
At least I know what
The door
another set of
appeared,
runes
it
are going to be
can
called.
If this is the will of the council, then the bard shall see it done. If there's a group consensus to head towards the door, fuck it. Let's head towards the door. We can at least sort of check the situation out.
And that means we get to sleep in a bed tonight.
My God, a bath.
Your god is a bath.
Bath god and
Hey,
beyond.
some gods require flagellation. My god just likes to be clean. Don't judge me.
Oh no, I meant the musician.
Oh God, no. Jesus Christ.
Anyway,
So,
east it is then.
Yeah.
East it is.
I would like outside of this, outside D&D, I would point out that we probably are looking at a trip through the woods anyway, purely for what we said, like time-wise, we would do. So just remember, we probably haven't avoided the woods. We're just...
Why? No, because then we'd have to camp in the woods,
but
probably.
we've only got a week though, and this is going to take 2 days at least, and we don't know how long it's going to take us at Amon Hung to get shit sorted.
I think if we go to the door, we've got to go to the inn.
That is, of course, supposing the door doesn't kill us.
Oh, yeah. Could be a mimic. Anyway,
general consensus onto the door. Let's get moving.
Yep.
Okay, so after a short lunch break of sorts, you guys nibbling on cheese as you have as you make your
we had lunch already, didn't we?
conversation. It's kind of more of an afternoon brunch thing, you know, afternoon tea, snack break, union snack break. You begin to continue your venture eastwards down the coastal road. Can I have perception checks from all of you, please?
Yep.
Waka and Douche, you happen to notice on the off the coast where a small inlet is, and you can see like a slight oh God, how do you describe it? Like the land sort of curves round somewhat, and you can see part of the cliff face further round on one of the inlets, and you see a number of a small ship with a couple of gentlemen on it. The ship itself moves in to the wall and disappears. Waka, with a 21, you notice a slight fluctuation on the cliff face itself. Like perhaps netting is there, like there's small shrubs and grasses and stuff that seem to have, that were disturbed as the ship disappeared into the cliff.
That looks a bit strange. I think we should investigate that. They might be following us.
I'm gonna put a note. So that's like, how do you do that? I want to put the right colour on. Can I? No, that's really strange. I'll draw on this one. Never mind. Carry on. Continue your conversation.
Does anyone want to come with me to investigate?
I'll join him.
What have you seen? I've not seen anything. I rolled a 6.
There was a boat on the water, and it went through those bushes over there, and then just disappeared.
Are you still drunk?
On cheese?
I
Cheese
saw
drunk.
it too. It bears some investigating.
Okay.
Brilliant.
So,
You also happen to see in the distance a small hill with a tree on it. A large, noticeable tree.
Okay,
Is that the tree that they were talking about with the door in it?
yeah, that'll be the tree that they were talking about with the door.
You are probably here.
so do we go for the boat or do we go for the tree?
But
No, the boat thing
my
is
thoughts
closer.
tell me that they may be connected.
Let's go have a look at the tree then.
Yeah, I suppose that's
The
what we
tree!
should do.
Yep.
To the tree.
To the tree! To the tree!
Cool. So you make your way off the path into the sort of the long grasses of sorts, and
Careful, it's dangerous.
it starts to get a brief incline as you begin to close in on the tree. Yeah, and it's not as big a tree as it looks in the distance. It's quite a grand looking tree, but it's not. It's very prominent considering the lack of other major vegetation in the area. and you approach it, and you get towards the top, and you can see that there's been a shift in the land. So I'll do it like that so you can see it. So like there's been a shift in the land, and there's been an exposed part of the rock. The tree is on top of the upper one, but in the bottom there is a small doorway, definitely constructed. It doesn't seem to be. It's not a natural like cave opening or anything necessarily. It's very much a thing. Very much a stone door. Have any of you got stone cunning or proficiency with mason tools?
No.
Nope.
No.
I can't imagine Gonad would with his noble background. All right, well, yeah, don't worry about it.
I've got thieves tools and shit. Like all my stuff is very.
I mean, nobility are thieves generally, so. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, cool. So, as you approach, there's a stone door. I'm going to show you something, I think. Boop. Not that you can see anything right now.
It's hideous. Oh, it's just pictures of his junk. Oh, the humanity.
Oh no. Okay, I'm just gonna show you this whole thing. Whoop. So for the purposes of the stream, let's pull this out. So you can see the large tree that stands out is this one here. Oh, that's not the right thing. This one here, and it's very grand. The rest of them are like maybe like 10 foot tall. This one is a good 15 to 20 feet tall. Scattered rocks, various bits. The door itself is kind of embedded in the rock here. If you can see that where I'm pinging.
Is the door shut?
It is shut, yeah. It's very much discolored against the normal rock face. Like it's been covered up and then exposed in this seismic activity.
Are there any kind of markings or adornments on it at all?
If you guys could bring yourselves in character-wise into the bottom left, that would be glorious.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, shit. We appear to be... Yeah, I was about to say, we appear to be missing one. Beautiful. So, most of this rock face is like 15, 20 foot higher than the rest. So it would be a struggle to get up it without some athletics or checks.
So the door's not at the same level. The door's not at the same level as us. Then it's like up in the cliff face.
The door is perhaps maybe a foot off the ground from where you are. But it's not. It's in the cliff face of sorts. What are you guys doing?
Has it got any kind of handle or anything on it?
It has.
How does it work?
There's like an indentation that you can put your hands in and pull it out. But it's flush against the wall. It's like the outlines there, and it's a different kind of stone, like a white stone. And you can put your hand in and pull it out if you wanted to.
I'll put my mage hand and pull it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Make an athletics check with it then. Yeah. You see it budge, and there's like dust that exposes itself around the outline of it quite dramatically. However, it doesn't quite quite shift. You can feel it moving, but it doesn't quite shift.
Okay.
I feel like my mage hand's not strong enough for it.
You get that impression. That might be the case.
Maybe somewhere.
I am going to go towards the door and check the traps.
Okay.
We try and open it.
All right. Make your perception check. Or is it investigation for traps? It's a nat 20. Doesn't matter.
Oh, no. Sound.
You approach it, and as you get closer, the air gets thick and hazy. You know, like when you see like a mirage on a hill kind of thing, and you can feel like your vision kind of being obscured somewhat as you approach. But like you're moving through like molasses or jam as you approach. When you get within the 5 feet, the molasses snap, and your vision clears entirely. The rest of you notice immediately that some of the wood life begins to stir. Can you all roll for initiative, please?
Oh shit!
Yay!
Let me do that, and then.
Oh.
So if you select your character, your
Oh
thing,
shit!
Sorry, I rolled before you did that.
yeah.
Could you add me in, please?
yes, it could. No, I can't. If you right click yours, can you give yourself a turn?
Oh, I do it.
I don't know. Maybe it's not letting me control it. So I think it's.
Oh no, it just dragged another. Do you want me to just roll it again?
Wait a minute. I think I can do it. Here we go. I got it. Because I am still terrible at this. Alright, who do I need? Waka. Add turn. The rest of you are there. That's
What
cool.
did I even roll? I can't remember.
Vast, you had an 18.
We rolled well there, didn't we? Apart from one of us.
Yeah, very much did not, sadly.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
May as well not be with that roll.
Alright.
I can live with being Dante.
So, let me show you some things. Boop.
Oh, that's a big thing.
Boop. Boop.
Oh no! March of the Shrooms.
Boop.
And Treebeard.
So, let
Someone
me
call
get
it.
the, let me get the stats
Let's
up.
call him Tree.
I don't know where I've stored them. Where are they at? There we
Waka,
go.
put your initiative score in.
I wouldn't. Oh yeah, Waka needs to. Sorry. Yeah, I thought you meant that I can put your initiative score in. I was like, what? They're not all going on one. I promise. Where is this one? It is here. Oh, okay. That's good there. All right. Beautiful. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so as the magic breaks, let me put some music on. Let's see. Do I have trees? Is there angry trees in here somewhere?
Off the tree.
Let's do this one, and then turn that down.
Sorry as bong.
Let's do this one. Yeah. Oh, that's the sound I didn't want there. It's the Klingons. What are these Klingons doing here?
Kaplach.
Okay, that'll do. Beautiful. Right. So, yeah, Gonad, you approach the door. The molasses dropped, and the magic energy seemed to snap something into life as you approach the door. You see this tree begin to uproot itself. A face exposes itself in the bark. A number of the various sort of shrubs and mushrooms around begin to animate and stalk. What would you do?
Okay. I'm gonna use it.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna use my dagger
Yeah.
on this little hot piece of chicken right there.
Little hot piece of chicken. Okay. Are you launching it or are you closing the gap?
I'm gonna launch this one, I think.
Okay. What's the range on your dagger for throwing? Is it 20 or?
It's 20 or 60 disadvantage. So I'll move 5 feet first, so that I'm within 20 feet.
Perfect. you would know how far you can throw a blade.
And then I'll throw my dagger at his weird little mushroom face.
Beautiful. Show me what you got.
Fucking Gary Gygax. It's in that one.
Yes, it is.
Oh, God.
Have I shown the stream what's going on? I'm not sure. Yes, I have. That's cool. Excellent. All right,
Very quickly, my unnamed beverage is calling. I will be back in just 2 seconds.
Beautiful. That's okay. So, thrown weapons. Can you roll me a d10, please?
I want.
9.
Hi.
The good news is that it's a unintended random target, and I don't know if anything else is within 30 feet of it. Oh, okay. Roll a d6 and have it, please.
Roll a d6 and halve it, yeah?
Please, yeah.
I've got a 1 in 3 chance.
That's just like a roll a d3.
You can roll a d3.
Wait, isn't he within
2?
30
That's
feet of
2.
it as well?
It's within 30 feet of the target.
Yeah, but isn't he himself within 30 feet of the
It's
target?
difficult to throw a dagger at yourself, I would say. There is like a separate one for hitting yourself.
Throw it straight up.
Stop hitting yourself.
For a 2, that is this gentleman. So, luckily for Vast, you were 1 below. Roll another attack.
Okay.
How did you aim at that one and cook the other one?
That's a hit. Roll some damage. He's not within a threatened space.
I don't know if I take sneak attack because I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, it doesn't count as a sneak attack, unfortunately. But you did deal significant damage.
Well, actually, you say that, but I was aiming for 1 and just went straight off to the right hand side. So maybe it was intentional.
Maybe it was.
Fuck your football chart.
Fuck your fuck your cannon. All right. Yeah. Cool. That is that. Wonderful stuff. Anything else you'd like to do? I think you might have a second attack with a light weapon.
Yes, I do. So while I've just thrown a dagger at this one, I'm then going to run up to this one and stab him with my newly acquired hook blade.
Okay, cool. Roll your attack. Oh, yeah.
I think it hits.
Yeah, that very much hits. And then some. Roll some damage. Beautiful stuff. You're not a swashbuckler, are you? Because that's a level 3 thing. I don't even think you're going for that, are you? That's fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, you deal a heavy blow. You shave off like a portion of his red cap, and it exposes it, and its animated maw kind of turns to you. And these things are like 3 foot tall, kind of thing. You just like cleft it somewhat, but it doesn't seem to have stopped it. It looks quite tasty, in fact. Cool. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Internet?
Okay.
Good.
All right. Moving on to the red caps. Yeah, the one you've just sliced half of is gonna take a large swing at you and try and bite you. With its sort of like its hard gnawed, sort of like tooth-like kind of raky teeth. That is a 14 to hit.
It's literally my armor class.
Is it? Whoopsie daisy. It deals you 1 damage.
Ow?
1 slashing damage at that.
Yes.
Waka, you're also attempting to be gnawed. That is also a 14 to hit.
My armor class is 16.
It kind of launches at you and goes for like your chain sort of armor. But doesn't seem to get through. It just leaves like a few sort of tasty looking morsels stuck in between the plates. That is
Yummy.
That is their turn.
Sounds good.
Vastificus.
I'm going to use Ray of Frost on the tree.
Okay. You blast out cold energy. It hits it, but doesn't seem to have affected it. It's more like it kind of got lost in the leaves, unfortunately.
Fuck.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. The tree rips its roots out the ground, and just you can see like now it's full scale. It is large. It's sort of its branches become like gnawed arms, and it's just logs, and it just stomps with 3 big bounds. It closes the gap towards you, Waka, and
Right.
it just with 1 large trunk. That is an 18 to hit.
Well, shit.
I'm assuming that goes through, yeah?
Yeah, 16 AC, isn't it?
That is 12 bludgeoning damage.
Christ.
To the door,
Don't
they
like
said.
magical woodland doors anymore.
It'll be wonderful, they said.
What an experience, they said. And as the wind is knocked out of you, the tree sort of rears back. What would you like to do, Waka? For I believe it is your turn.
I'm gonna hit it back.
Okay.
I'm just gonna. It's coming up me. I'm just gonna take my. I've got my sword. Just gonna chop it as hard as I can
Yeah, do it.
from the side of the trunk. Where's my great sword gone?
Yeah, you. It's not very fast, and it is quite cumbersome. The bark is quite thick and tough, but your sword is keener, and you just slice straight into the central bough of it, cleaving a great gash. Roll some damage. 14.
Nice.
Fuck me, that's a good one.
Take that, you shit.
You gnaw off like you split some firewood and just cut straight through it, like a full chunk, before your blade is turned away. Is there anything else you would like to do on your turn? I believe you have a bonus action and movement, should you wish.
Yes, I do. For my movement, I'm going to.
Remember, if you do move out of a threat range, they can attack you.
I was going to move. There's not really anything I can do on a bonus action or anything. To be honest, I think I'm just going to stand there and hope that they don't hit me back.
You sure you don't want
You could have your potion.
Or you could use your second wind.
If you wanted. Or second wind, yeah.
Yeah, could I take the potion as a bonus action?
You can, yeah. If you'd like.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, I didn't
I'll
realise.
thank God for that.
Yeah, so
I was going to ask that.
So taking potions is a bonus action for yourself, but it is an action to administer.
Nice. Right, okay,
Right.
cool.
Yeah, I'll take my potion then.
You
Try
need to
and
roll
regain some.
a 2d4 plus 2.
2d4
Yeah.
plus 2. Modifier plus 2.
Okay, that's 6 back. You feel a bit of life return to you.
6 back, okay.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, I'm going to stay there. I'm not going to invite any more attacks at the moment.
Okay.
I'm trying to move and run away.
Douche.
Right, so this fucker here, right next to me. Oh god, it's not letting me do the whole. There we go. Yeah.
Yep.
That fucker next to me. I am just gonna rapier that shit.
Cool. Yeah. Roll your attack. A strong hit. You pierce through the mushroom. Excuse me. Roll some damage.
I'm hoping this doesn't go the way I think it's going to.
Looked like it did, I'm afraid. But 5 is good. You stab straight through it, cutting a strong wound through it. Fluid kind of oozes out of it, like they're kind of greasy and oily. Kind of just drains from it.
Excuse me.
Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Let me just.
And again.
Oh, attack range as well. Ooh.
Now, bear in mind, you can, for example, move around their attack range without provoking an attack. So you could still make some more distance between you and the other creatures, for example.
Right. So if I went to let me just point it out. So if I was to move around to about here-ish, see if I can just make the thing go.
Yeah, you can absolutely
still move a bit further away from the other guys without incurring damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'm going to move just there, just to get a little bit of distance between me and the tree. And I, given his situation, will inspire Whacker with my bonus action. And to inspire him, I would just say, motherfucker, 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 mushroom.
Beautiful. Yeah, by all means.
It's a tree.
You can take that
tree. A scary tree.
Whacker, you can take that D6 whenever you need to use it. To add to any D20 roll, basically. Remember, Whacker, you do also have your DM inspiration you can use to give yourself advantage. You can use both of them on the same roll if you wanted.
I've remembered. I've been saving it just in case.
Just making sure. Touche. You've used your movement, your action, and your bonus. I believe that's your turn, yeah?
I'm good. Good.
Mushroom. The one next to you, Douche, kind of slams into you. That is a 13 to hit.
I believe my AC, if I 14.
14. You deftly bat it away, narrowly avoiding being chewed upon. The one to the north.
Chewed.
Is going to close in on you, Gonad.
Let him try!
Alright, just for clarification then, the orange tops both have the same initiative then?
Yeah, the red caps and
awesome.
the orange tops have got the same initiatives.
Nice.
I'm not super keen on the same monsters all having the same initiative, but I thought these two have got distinctions, so I can break it up a little bit.
Nice one. Yeah.
But this one rolls a 13 to hit you with its big sharp teeth. You slap it aside like the bitch it is, before realizing you have enough energy to move and do something. What would you like to do, my roguish companion?
Okay, so the one that's just attempting to hit me is the one that currently has my dagger stuck in him.
Yep, it's kind of wedged in,
so
in its head.
I'm going to grab the handle of the dagger and just try to pull it up and, like, leave it.
Are you kind of just, like grabbing it and then raking it down it? Cool, yeah.
It's very kind of it to bring your dagger back to you, isn't it?
Yeah, had you been 5 foot closer, Vast?
Okay, so...
I moved there for a reason.
Roll your damage.
4 damage.
Excellent. Yeah, you split it in twain. It is gone full Shania on your ass.
Awesome. Okay.
That don't impress me much.
Okay, so the good thing is they're not very strong. So that means that all I need on this next one is a 6, hopefully. So with the fact that I've just cleft that one in twain, still holding both daggers, sort of make a brief, informed decision and go at him with the hooked one that's already been in him once.
Yep. Okay, cool. Do your thing.
Just inside him.
See if I can tap the shit out of him.
Absolutely.
I think it's a hit.
Definitely. Show me the meaning of pain.
That is 4 saucy little points of damage.
You cut off a significant portion of it, almost like crafting it like topiary. But all instead you've done is exposed the top half of its head. So the bottom teeth of its sort of rakish maw are kind of like finely sort of pointed like a pencil, but still standing.
And that's my go.
Okie dokie. The pencil is going to lunge at you. However, because you've taken off what might have passed for its eyes, it completely misses you. Whiffing entirely, you sidestep it and slap it with the flat of your blade, like you're playing with your food. The one by Waka, however, is going to circle round and chomp on Douche, being a tasty little morsel.
I'm not tasty.
You've earned the tree's ire. That's 11 damage. 11 to hit. Sorry.
Fuck off, motherfucker.
Yeah, you sidestep it, and it fails to find purchase with its less pencil-headedness. Vastificus.
I'm going to cast Magic Missile.
Okay.
And I'm going to put 1 into this guy.
Okay.
And 2 into the tree.
Excellent stuff. All right.
So first one into the mushroom.
The mushroom ingests it. It bites, and it just explodes in a spray of vegetarian chili components. The tree takes a few pummels. You can see the bark stripping off of it in jagged kind of parts. What is it? 8. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
That's some good rolls there.
They were good rolls. Very good rolls. Yeah, the tree's taken some damage. You can see the sort of the ripe wood underneath. Kind of like you stripped some very healthy wood. Though it doesn't seem to have slowed its charge at all. Is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Phrasing.
Nope.
Okay.
That's
a you. The tree.
Fuck you, tree.
Being bang, bang, overhead kind of slam with its left trunk limb.
Of course it does.
That's a 19 to hit.
Benjamin Trunk.
Ooh.
That's definitely a hit.
Okay. That is
That was a lot of dice.
Yeah, I don't like that.
10 bludgeoning damage.
Wow, I'm nearly down.
But you're still up.
Nice.
Let's say you must be close to being down now. Good.
It stalks around.
Thank fuck for that potion of healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Waka. What say you?
Well, there's not really much else I can do. I'm just going to take another big swing at him and try and take him down once and for all.
Have you taken your second wind?
Because that's a bonus action to do that.
It's a bonus action, yeah.
Yeah, you can do that this turn as well.
So yeah, I'll do
You
that.
have inspiration as well.
I'll do that as my bonus action. Yeah, so actually, that's a good point. So I'm going to add my Bardic Inspiration to my attack.
The good thing with Bardic Inspiration, as opposed to DM Inspiration, is that you can roll it, and if you're like, that's not high enough, then you can roll your Bardic. With DM Inspiration, because it's giving you advantage, you have to declare it before you roll. So you can roll and see if you like it, but before you find out whether or not you've hit it or not, you can choose to add your d6.
Okay. So if I roll my attack first and then roll my Bardic.
Yeah, roll your attack first, see if you
don't
like
think
it,
that your
and then
attack's gonna hit.
yeah.
Right, so I'll roll my attack.
And then did that.
I'd say use your inspiration.
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it, a D6?
Add your d6.
Like a D6.
Please get a 6. Please get a 6.
You
Probably not enough, that, is it?
you shave part of the bark off, like keenly close to where it should be, but it's deceptively quick with its with parts of its body in this round. It shifts unnaturally around you. You narrowly miss.
Just checking the D20 display and everything. Whack, have you updated your HP?
Yep.
Oh, it's not showing up.
How odd.
I'm currently up to 3. So, okay. As a bonus action, then I'm going to use my.
So it's a D10 plus 2, I believe.
It's a 1d10.
Yeah, plus your fighter level. Bless you. You're all very sneezy today.
And just allergic to your bullshit.
The tree suddenly locks eyes with Vast.
Oh no, the DMs.
Yeah,
He's gone better. He's gone better.
that is as good as a breather you could possibly take in a moment's action. You feel resilient. That you might be able to make it out of this without dying.
Oh, is that your second wind? That's
That
good.
is a second wind.
Yeah.
That's a fucking awesome second wind.
It's very good with that.
Douche, you are being accosted by mushrooms.
That's a brand new sentence.
Fuck me.
Accosted by
Okay,
mushrooms.
that's fine. Give me just within 6 feet. Right. Okay.
Farmer
Let me
Maggot's
just check.
crop is
one
not happy
thing.
with the entirety of the fellowship.
Okay. So first thing I'm going to do, the best thing I can do right now is thunderclap. So that's within 5 feet range, and they are both right by me. So they need to make a Constitution saving throw of 14 each.
Thunderclap. This might be the first time I've seen Thunderclap work. Without
Yeah, this is like the perfect situation for
Without-
it. It's
without
usually
harming-
used in
without
terrible
harming anyone
situations.
Constitution saving throws.
Yeah, 14 for a con.
Well, that's a fail. That's a pass.
Right. Okay.
And
So
that's a pass. So that's bottom to top, that one. So the orange cap's going to get the full brunt of it. The rest of them's made their save.
just make one roll. Okay. And that's a 4.
So what's going on here? Is it like if they make the save, is it half damage or?
It is. So it's a case of it does not say anything about save, so I just don't think that the other one is affected. The other one that failed will take a 4 damage, and he's already suffered 5, I think, from my last rapier.
Let's see.
Did they get pushed, or is that a different spell?
No, that's Thunder Wave.
Oh, yeah,
Thunder
that's
Clap.
Yeah, they must succeed
However,
at saving
for the
or take 1d6 thunder damage. That's totally true. Okay, cool.
for the sake of the comedy, when I do my thunderclap, I wish to half twist around and smack the moneymaker.
Okay, as you pat your ass with your thunderclap and a resounding boom erupts, the mushroom to the south just explodes across the grass to your south.
Nice.
The trees kind of leaves rustle heavily. The red cap is unaffected.
Okay, and oof. As we were saying earlier, I can move sort of around the remaining enemy, but get a bit further away from the tree. Yeah, for my movement.
Well, you're currently within the tree and the mushroom. If you move to the south, you'll incur an attack from the tree. If you move to the north,
okay, I'm within that range. Okay, forget it. I will not move an inch. I will, however, inspire Gonad, who's in a 40 feet range, and I've got 60 feet range of Bardic Inspiration. And I will inspire him with a poem by saying, "The tree is old, he is filled with ire, but with a bottle of oil, you can kill him with fire!"
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, I forgot it too.
I almost want
I
to give
know,
you
right?
inspiration for that, Witty. That was pretty good. I think I will. Yeah, you take some DM inspiration for that. I enjoyed that.
I have 2 DM inspiration. Can I even add 2?
They don't stack, unfortunately. Oh well.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll keep my inspiration though. But I got 2 in one session. I'm fairly impressed with that. It's okay.
I believe that's your action and bonus action.
Yeah, and I'm not moving because of it. I don't want to get hit for the sake of moving.
Okay. Gonad, you are in the midst of a goulash. What would you like to do?
I've got my daggers back. That's all good. Reckon it would be an action to just make the oil bomb, or would it be an action to make and throw?
You can throw oil, and then if you light it when the oil goes, it would definitely take an action to make a Molotov and light it for sure. But you can't.
Throw the oil and then someone else could light it.
Yeah, you can absolutely like attempt to throw a jar of oil at it, and have someone else light it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll do is I will throw some oil at the tree.
Okay, let's see. How does oil work as a thrown weapon? It'll be considered an improvised weapon, so you won't get proficiency, but it would definitely be a dexterity. You get disadvantage after 20 feet, so you would have to move closer. It's got the same range as a dagger.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. To be fair, I thought okay, so about there will do it.
Yep, so roll a dexterity.
Locally.
Got in. I'm afraid it didn't quite hit it. Roll me a d10.
Oh, please tell me that's feet of soakage.
So, because there is quite a lot of grass and stuff here, the ground is pretty soft. However, if Waka, make a dexterity saving throw.
dexterity saving throw. Okay. Come on. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Roll a second dexterity, please, Gonad.
Please be less than 60.
Waka. A jar of oil smashes into your head, covering you and drenching you in oil.
Oh,
Just what I always wanted.
I'm going to have to follow that up with some fire now, aren't
don't you fucking dare.
Hang on. Right, let's get meta here and just say this is his line of sight.
Yeah.
Does he know that Wacker's just been covered in oil?
You can make a perception check if you'd like.
I? Yeah.
I'm sorry. You are not turning Waka into a Cyberman against a Napa tree.
Vast
Well.
has no idea. He heard the smash, but he doesn't know where it's hit. Kind of got lost in the leaves.
Do I think that it's hit the tree?
You definitely think it hit something. You saw it go into the leaves and then hear a smash. Wouldn't be a leap of a leap without thinking about it.
Yeah, you just don't know. You just don't know.
I know that it hit Wacker.
Yeah, you
Or at
threw
least
it
it
at
didn't hit the tree.
him.
Yeah.
You saw
as
it.
well.
You threw it at him. You were like, ha! Oh, fuck.
Cool. I'm gonna run over here and say, "Please don't set it on fire! I hit the fat one."
It's not fat, it's mass.
Is that the end of your turn, Gonad?
I've got a bonus action, haven't I?
You do.
I'm gonna throw a dagger at Senor Twatface over here.
I think-
Not like my shit dagger, not my nice dagger.
Unfortunately, oil is not considered a finesse weapon or a light weapon. It's an improvised weapon.
Ah, okay. In that case, I'm not sure I can do anything.
You can
Hide.
dash, you can hide, you can disengage from reality if you so wished.
Oh. Are there any rocks near me, like
Yeah,
within
there's-
that sort of radius that I could hide behind?
There's rocks up top. There's rocks to your south. Yeah, you would need to dash to get there unless
Yeah, I need to get to those ones.
if you still haven't got movement. Yeah, you can still make that.
Yeah, I can make it to that one. All right, I'm gonna go there and hide behind this rock.
Okay, cool. Oh shit! Sorry, I grabbed you there. Yeah, roll a stealth.
I need to learn how to play a rogue. Yeah, okay. Stealth. I think I'm okay.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I think
For a
Vast is just like, where's he gone?
I moved before I went into the room.
what's brilliant is that I rolled a nat 20 on the tree, but
Oh,
it's still a lot lower than your 25.
What sort of minus does that tree have to its perception? Has it got too many leaves in its eyes or something?
It just might not have very
We've
much
got
of
+5 to
anything.
stealth.
He's got Tobey Maguire like Spider-Man 3 fringe.
Contrary to popular belief, trees are not considered wise in this.
Yeah, suck it, Tolkien.
The red cap will take another bite at you, Duché. That's an 8. You just
Yes.
they're just gumming at you. You're just not even noticing. Vastificus.
Oh. Well, I was going to use chromatic orb fire, but I won't because you told me
I
not.
thank you.
This is a good job that he did. I'll use magic missile on the tree.
Okay, excellent stuff. Pew pew pew. That's not bad. That's not bad. You blast significantly more bark off of it. It is mostly bare on the side for you. though it's still lumbering. And it seems angry.
Still lumbering.
Is there anything else you wanted to do on your turn?
No, I'm staying with my back on this wall.
Waka. Does a 26 hit? Oh fuck!
Let me just check a way to know
I've said
need
so.
to.
let me just confer with my meep.
Yeah. Fuck's sake.
That is 11 bludgeoning damage as it just swipes you.
That's most of his second wind gone.
11.
Just like, is anyone else thinking? Did anyone else see the to Hell and Back animation movie where the tree is voiced by H. John Benjamin?
No.
I don't think so. No.
Oh. It's like it's this hellish tree, and it just basically turns up to one of these guys going, "Here's some wine. It's an earthy Bordeaux, and it pairs wonderfully with I am going to rape you."
Well, that went from fucking 0 to 60 pretty quick, didn't it?
It's incredible. It's so funny.
Oh, it's so funny, but that is exactly what has happened to Waka right now.
I remember watching that. Oh, that's so much.
With that in mind, Waka, you've just taken another big bludgeoning crunch from this giant piece of, well, tree. What would you like to do?
Well, I think there's not really much you can do. I can't run away without him inviting an attack anyway.
Hit him again.
Yeah, but I've also got an action surge.
You do?
Which will give me an additional action. So I'm going to hit him twice.
Okay. Yeah. Now you're playing with fire.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Cool. Yeah. Roll your 2 attacks. Good work. Wow.
Cool.
Okay. Roll your damage for the first one. Now roll your damage for the second one. You managed to just shing cross slash across it. 19. Hefty. You chop off.
If he's not firewood.
You chop off one of its limbs, and the other one is just like rearing back at you. He's looking significantly weaker now.
Cool.
Good call.
I've done all I can. It's up to you guys now.
Right.
Yeah. Touche.
Right. Okay. Again, I'm only going to ask. So Thunderclap has a 5 feet range. Would the adjacent diagonal 5 feet range get the tree opposed to get the? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's but
Right.
Oh yeah, it rolled a saving the last time, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
I'm just gonna say, Thunderclap again with a Constitution 14 on because I've got 2 or more enemies, and I'm just thinking of wave of damage as opposed to just doing the one bit.
Yeah, cool. I'll do the tree first. That's a natural 1.
Nice.
Nice.
Mushroom is a.
Does it roll on the fumble chart?
It's a 14. Not on saving throws.
Oh, the DC is actually a 14, so it's still
So
hit.
it makes it, unfortunately, with a 14. It's the same as armor class. It needs to match or exceed. But
right,
that's
because it matches the 14. So if just double check for dynamics later on down the line. Then, so if it's a case of if it's a 14,
so
right, okay, that's fine.
But your thunderclap does go through to the tree.
That's a 5.
5. Very good. Your blast goes off again. You slap your tush in its general direction, and a wave of splinters and leaves begin to fall and sort of blast off to the northeast. Unfortunately, it's still alive.
Okay. Gonad still has my inspiration from the last bout, does he?
He does.
Okay, then. Let's see who's on the roster.
I wish I would have remembered about that. I was throwing that. Oh,
I'm glad I reminded you, but let's just see. I'm just trying to think of the worst overall. You know what? No, I'm just gonna No, actually, we already discussed if I moved to the south, the tree would get me, wouldn't it?
It would certainly try.
Fuck, no. Considering what it's done to Whacker thus far, I'm gonna say fuck.
Swish.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's my turn. I'll just end it there.
Okay, Douche. What would you like to do? Gonad, fuck. What am I
Gonad.
saying?
there we go.
Gonad, fuck.
Got it, fuck!
I know your names.
Yes, I'm going to try and fuck the tree.
Okay,
No, I'm not.
you're currently
You like what? How about this word?
you're currently an unseen attacker. Because if you're hiding, if you're going to do anything from there, you would have advantage. Because you're hiding.
That's why I'm rinking and the dinking and the thinking.
Okay.
Would it be? Let me out here. Would it be a bonus action to light an arrow?
No,
I'd probably say that's an action. I'm afraid.
no, it wouldn't be. No.
No.
I wasn't going to aim for you. I was going to aim for the leaves.
It's also worth noting
I'm
that
not too faithful in your aim, if you understand.
I think lighting a fire as well is probably going to ruin your hide. Because it would. Well, I mean, generally speaking, fires are quite noticeable, especially to trees.
I am going to, just from behind the rock, I'm actually going to peek around to the side, so instead of like standing up or anything like that, I'm just going to peek around to the side, try and push an arrow into whatever part of the tree looks weakest.
Okay. So you can see a lot of sort of the exposed sort of wood within, because a lot of the bark's been shaved off. Roll your attack with advantage.
Panic inspiration, please!
Roll your d6. Roll your damage.
You witty! Fucking rolling with advantage. I get a fucking 10.
I think that's just payback for what I got when I rolled disadvantage last.
I get sneak attack as well, don't
You do, because you're an
I just
unseen
think
attacker.
overall.
Good.
Go on, Ed.
And,
How would you like to do it?
oh! So, I'm gonna loose the arrow into whichever part of the tree looks weakest and squidgiest, and I'm gonna watch it sort of like find purchase in the tree, and as the tree is sort of like wavering and falling over, I'm literally just gonna like walk out really slowly, like Reservoir Dog style, from behind the rock, and just with one finger just push it over, then swear at it.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what happens. The tree lumbers over and becomes completely inert with this arrow embedded to a point deeply within that it no longer has. You can no longer see where the arrow is. The wood itself is fused, claiming whatever kind of life had previously brought it from its inert status.
Timber.
And then,
You're going down. I'm shouting timber.
I'm just gonna stab that one. It's there.
I don't know if you can with a short bow. We'll have a look. It is a short
No,
bow.
I
isn't
can't actually. That's a good
You
point.
can't stab him with a short pen, no.
it? Whack!
I just mean. Oh shit! Yeah, no, it's two-handed. For some reason, I had in my mind I was using a light crossbow, even though I don't have one. So yeah, ignore me. I'm just gonna teabag the tree.
Okay, you can hug the tree.
Teabag. I'm just gonna stand over it and start going, "Aha, you dickhead!"
Beautiful.
You're going to tree bag it.
The mushroom continues to try and gnaw on Duche. It's failed this entire battle in doing so. That is a 14.
That is my AC.
Success for the mushroom.
I do not enjoy how this is geared towards enemies. It's like, it rolled a 14, it makes it. Rolls a 14, it gets me.
It's the same as you though. Like,
Yeah, if it was done the other way around, it'd work in your favour.
yeah, it's to match or exceed.
Yeah, but I thought the mushroom got a 14 on its constitution save earlier.
Yeah, but that was
and it made
because
that.
it matches.
that
it
was
matches
different.
it.
That's on a save.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm
not
going
on
to
a-
take this damage, it's fine. I'm just saying.
You can have your 2 piercing damage as a result.
Alright, 2 piercing damage, yeah?
Yeah, it jumps a little bit on your forearm. The blood sort of trickles down. It's what little face it has.
You're not a fun guy at all.
Vast.
That vicious mockery.
I wish.
Vastificus, what would you like to do?
If you keep making these puns, you won't leave mushroom for any other jokes.
Oh God, why?
Look,
Why do you like this, Ray of Frost?
Frost.
What are you doing, Ray? Dick.
Spell attacks.
Hey, bloody frost!
Roll me a d10, please, Vastificus.
I will say, for anyone who hasn't watched this campaign thus far, Russ's Ray of Frost is pretty much a Dyson air fan against enemies.
It is so shit. Why does it not work?
Can
What is
you
wrong
roll
with it?
an acrobatics check for me, please?
Acrobatics check. Okay.
You as you loose your Dyson Airblade, the sheer force of it propels you Iron Man style off the ground a little bit, but you nearly slip on some errant mushroom that's found its way over you while as Gonad sort of drapes it over it with his in his feet, but you manage to stop yourself from falling over, and doing very little of anything else. Nobody saw how pathetic you looked.
That's all I ask.
What else would you like to do?
I think I've done enough.
Waka? The tree is down.
The tree is down.
There is a mushroom between you and your bard.
Well, I think I'm going to try and make some chunks out of this mushroom.
Okay.
So,
Just the manic street
I'll
preach.
swing at it. Or maybe not.
Roll your damage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how do you want to do this?
Yes.
So, with it being a mushroom, and I'm using a huge, great big, heavy greatsword, it just slices through towards the top of its head. So I turn around, slice again, and a slice again, and he just stands there for a few seconds. And you know that scene from Kill Bill,
Yeah.
where a head just kind of falls off? It just does that, like,
Excellent.
and he's down.
And it just falls to putty.
I was thinking Resident Evil with the laser grid when it just
That's what I
it
was
goes
thinking in
through
my
and
head.
just sort of starts slowly sliding cube by cube.
Now there ain't
Congratulations.
mushroom between you and the bard.
Congratulations, fine adventurers. You took on a significant threat.
Did we?
Did you? You did. And you didn't even go unconscious once.
To be fair, you absolutely wailed him. I just came in at the last minute with 8 damage and fucking iced the bitch. not as badly as was iced.
At least with
That's
magic
all
missiles were good.
Yeah.
So, with that encounter, DM, how did that fare for us as characters? Eh?
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. But what would you like to do as the noise grows thin and the wilderness begins to fill the air again?
Investigate these fuckers for loot.
Can I open the store?
Yeah, I was just about to say, can I just
Can we burn the
see.
tree and cook the mushrooms on the fire?
Yeah,
Like the
upon,
ultimate insult.
That'll
Before he
learn.
does that, can I search the corpses?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. You find as many mushrooms as you would like to carry, and plenty of firewood.
Anyone hungry?
Yeah, I have read this mushroom. A shortcut to mushrooms is always a welcome diversion.
Now it's true D&D. I need to find this lovely farm sounds again, because I think we need that.
Just to interject, I've just hit the comment, that's vanilla ice.
Brilliant. Oh shit.
Oh, that is a very actually good point. Truth and piracy. Whacker, be very careful when lighting fires upon your person.
Yeah, you're still very, very, very flammable right now.
Can I clean him?
You can
of the
prestigitate the oil off of him, absolutely.
But I don't. No, I do. I'd like to know if I could. No, I do.
So, yeah, what would you guys like to do?
I would like to sigh, breathe heavily, and very loudly say, well, my days of following your direction are swiftly coming to a middle.
A very Firefly.
And I would like to turn around and stare at the rock face and just go, let's see what's behind door number 1! Just try and usher everybody to the door.
Yeah,
So,
I'll open the door.
You know when I was checking for traps
Assuming I can
earlier,
reach the handle.
don't find any, because I
did
got
not-
a really high roll, but then we just ended up fighting.
Yeah, you
well-
you didn't find anything else other than the magical ward that
I
protects.
think that was the trap.
Yeah. Whoever is attempting to open it, roll me athletics, please.
Athletics.
Everyone's like, big man?
Right, okay.
15's what you need, though. You dig in both hands and pull, and the dust rips out of the top of it. And once the initial sort of jut happens, it sails uneasily, smoothly out of the rock face. It's a good foot off the floor, almost like the initial terrain has shifted around where its entrance used to be. And as you pull it through, a corridor, a dark corridor lined with dust and debris, seemingly untouched for significant amounts of time, looms before you.
More cheese.
With your dark vision, because of where you are, and how long the corridor is, you can see at the end of it there is a single coffin type situation, like a similar kind of stone situation. It is sealed, however.
Right, I want to know what's in it.
No!
I'm going to move as far away as possible. I'm very squishy at the moment.
Before we do anything,
I will mage hand my potion of healing to Waka
Okay.
if he needs it.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, actually,
I'm just gonna,
that's only a regular potion of healing is only a 1d4, isn't it?
Nope, it's 2d4 plus 2. That's the absolute minimum.
2d4. Okay, no, it's fine. No, fine.
It's also worth noting as well, you can take short rests if you want to and regain your hit.
Yeah, we can have a rest instead if you want.
Instead of using
I
your
have a
potion,
song
should you
of
wish.
rest at 1d6 for short rest.
Exactly. But
All right, let's. I don't give you my potion. Let's have a little rest now.
Okay. I'll cancel that.
so you can see into this.
I only need 4 hours for a full long rest, don't I?
Yeah, you do. So you can see into this corridor. Are you just sort of just chilling out at this tomb?
Yeah, I think before we go in, obviously, we just want to tend to Waka's wounds.
Okay.
Put a plaster on Witty's wounds.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, Duche's wounds.
The sun begins
Put plaster on
to dip as it reaches like 4 p.m. kind of time. You manage to spend your hour unmolested, basically. Each of you can use 2 hit die because you're level 2, and you can add a d6 if Duche is applying his Song of Rest.
I will do my Song of...
I think I'm okay.
if I just do my Song of Rest, is that just a d6 on the macro?
Yep.
Right, okay. And that's there's no modifier on the Song of Rest. That's fine.
What am I rolling?
That's 4. That's cool. So Waka, you can use 2 d10s if you would like. You can use one and then the other if you want. But yeah, as a fighter, your hit die is d10. Duche, if you're using any of your hit die, I don't know if you need to with that because you'll get your 4 anyway.
Song of Rest, it takes me up to full.
Yeah,
so just using 2 hit points, I'm fine.
Brilliant. So all of you will gain that 4 should you need to. So Waka, bear that in mind. You will also gain back your second wind at the end of a long rest as well.
Short rest, sorry. I get my short rest and my action surge as well.
After a short rest?
Yeah.
Cool.
A short rest. Oh, fuck me. Nice.
I don't remember that, but brilliant.
Wait. Craven holds up COS and waves it wildly, guys. Ian's being a bastard, which we don't doubt.
No, it is a short rest. I'm just, didn't know that. Cool.
So I get 4 anyway.
Yep.
So let's just roll. If I just roll 1d10 then first. Oh, for fuck's sake. So then I can roll another one, can't I?
Yep, should you wish. There you go. That's another 4.
So you get 8.
Remember as well, it's, you do get your Constitution bonus as well to your hit die rolls. So you'll get an additional 4 on top of that because you have a +2 Constitution.
All right, so that's
you get
12
+2 each time. So yeah. So less.
And also, Witty, COS, by the way, is Curse of Strahd, which, by all accounts, is not very player friendly.
Yeah, it is a.
It's fucking
Ian
evil.
and I play it every Tuesday.
Yeah, it's
lovely,
so
isn't it?
depressing.
Okay.
And I'm not being a bastard. I'm being lovely. Just you wait to see what happens.
Ian, we know you're a bastard and we love you for it. Accept this.
Okay, all right.
Except right now. We hate it right now.
So your hour passes and you patch up your wounds, feeling slightly less immediately drained in this situation. The entrance to the small tomb remains open. There has been no stirring over the hour.
Can I take a handful of ball bearings and just throw them down the corridor to see if it triggers anything?
Sure, yeah. I'm not going to make you roll for it. You roll them down, and they clatter harmlessly into the back of the room. Some of them skittering off the stone sarcophagus. That's the word I was looking for earlier.
Okay, I'm going to turn around and go, guys, I think it's fine. And I'm just going to light a torch and just start going.
Okay, lighting the torch.
We can all see in the dark.
But now you can see in colour.
I know, but now we can see in colour.
You know, let's be honest.
Now in Technicolor.
Things got much more interesting in Pleasantville when it got to colour. And Reese got her spoon, so so you make your way into the corridor. Lighting it up, you can see there's inscriptions on the wall itself. It's kind of like an archway, and there's like patterns all the way up the wall.
What language are the inscriptions?
It's more sort of, it's less language and more storied. So those of you with proficiency in history, roll me a history check.
I have a jack of all trades proficiency. Does that count?
I don't know actually.
I don't get proficiency.
I'm gonna say yeah. Duche, roll for it anyway because you know stories.
Don't know how much it helped, but
Gonad, particularly with your history in your nobility, your upbringing, your good education, you are more familiar with some of these. You know that this is the notable signs of the Company of the Purple Worm, an ancient sort of paladin order that prided themselves on being wonderful horsemen and incredibly potent warriors, both on and off horseback. And it's got all the sort of, it's like, you know, like the Legend of Zelda kind of intros like Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, where it's got like the old school kind of history kind of thing, the animation style. It's like that. And it's kind of just narrating a bit of their history, leading up to part of the fall of old Phallia, which you're familiar with.
Like hieroglyphs kind of shit.
Yeah.
Are we nearing the sarcophagus?
Yeah, absolutely. As you
Sarcophagus.
the sarcophagus.
Yes.
In the dark, you'll hear a whisper.
Why is that not an enemy in this game? It's just a goose, but wrapped in like mummy wrappings.
I mean,
I'm
adding it to the list. Yeah, cool. And you approach the sarcophagus, and across the top of it there is a series of named inscriptions in Old Elven.
Oh, we've got an Old Elven person.
Would let me just double check.
Yeah, you're
You're an elf. You
Yeah,
would know it.
I'm fluent in Elvish and Sylvan, so that would cover it, right?
Yeah, as would Gonad. Being a full breed, as it were, in this instance, because obviously languages are racially tied to your species somehow for some reason, but you read across the top of it, and it has like this sort of relief of an elven warrior, and the actual sarcophagus itself is quite like closer to like 8 or 9 feet long. It's very big, and you can see like the relief of the man itself, and at his feet it has like a crest in an elven dialect for Ser Vakhoff of the Purple Worm.
You fucking asshole. Do I recognise the crest or the imagery? Because I assume if I know enough about the Purple Worm, I would have come across somebody who has a tomb hidden inside a magical rock.
What you understand about the Purple Worm and the company of the Purple Worm is that they were a force for good, for sure. They were very noble in their pursuits.
It's a shame.
Often using their diplomacy and their as well as their martial prowess to prevent war as much as quickly end it. They were very proficient. However, you're not familiar with Vakhoff immediately.
Okay. Tucker,
Yes?
can I borrow your might? Short
As
second.
long as you give it back after.
Sure,
Sorry.
why not?
I love that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so just before I do anything else, is there anything else in this like little chamber, or is it just?
Nope. The inscriptions carry around like along the outside of it, and it's almost like the respect for the dead is in its isolation. He had nothing left to prove because they don't need to take anything else with them. Like pharaohs have like jars of shit that they take with them, with their fucking servants and organs and shit in it. None of that.
Jars of shit.
Yeah, if that tickles your fancy.
Okay, I'm going to turn to Waka and I'm going to place my hands on the lid and say, "On 3 then."
3.
And okay.
Roll an
I
athletics.
guess we're pushing.
You can roll an athletics check each, or you can give advantage to one of you.
And what's your bonus to athletics?
6.
Yeah, I'm going to give you advantage.
Oh wait, I didn't roll it with it.
D0.
I didn't roll it with advantage. Hold on. There we go.
Okay.
Whoa.
Well, I'll take 13 and 24 because they were the first two that you rolled technically. So 24. Yeah, the lid of the coffin slides off easily. It doesn't even make like a horrible grinding sound. It's just kind of just like almost like it was just so finely made, and that the contacts were so finely polished that there's very little resistance once it starts going, much like the door. And as you push the door over, the lid of it, you manage to grip it and safely put it down. But laying inside is the remains of an elven warrior. And again, very large for an elf, very stocky. His armor is wasted and rusted over the eons that he's been here. He's had a helmet with like wings on it, but a lot of the decal has kind of just mottled around it as well and decayed over time. He's stood in like in a sort of standing guarding position, with his hands resting on the pommel of a great black sword, or a black greatsword.
What's the condition of the greatsword?
Immaculate.
Parker, I think there's a gift in you.
But it seems a bit too good to be true. Can anyone see if there's any curses or anything?
No. Find out. That would ruin the fun.
I suppose if either of you guys have got detect magic.
No.
No. For the sake of atmospherics, I will just be behind the party with my rapier like tip dug into the ground, leaning on the pommel with just my fingers pinched on my eyebrows, just like, of course. Grab the weird sword in the sarcophagi. Of course you will. Of course.
Okay, can I check for traps, por favor?
Sure, yeah. Make an investigation check. Or a perception. Well,
I don't think I know what's down there.
you still rolled terribly, so yeah, you don't see anything that triggers your your spider senses, as it were.
There's nothing else of worth apart from this sword.
Just
Is that what
I was about to say, is there anything else I'm noting there at all? Any gems or coin or...
Nothing.
Is there any markings on the sword at all?
Yes, there is. The
Ooh.
in the sword itself, there is a series of sort of blue, pale filigree engraved into it, like Mother of Power kind of style, but it's blue, like icy blue, and it is in a dialect that I don't think you know. Do any of you speak Giant?
No.
Oh, it's a big old
That
no.
explains why it's so fucking big.
Then you you cannot read it, but it's definitely script, and it's definitely Giant, and it's definitely a language.
Have either of you guys got comprehend languages? Are you
Nope.
just like battle mages?
God, what are you even for?
Level 2,
I'm here-
dude. Let me alone.
I was going to say, I am here to the best I can do for you is detect magic.
I think this has appeared recently. It must have something to do with recent events. We've destroyed the keepers of the tomb, and to be honest, Parker, I think you need any help you can get in not doing.
Just take the fucking sword. Let's go.
All right, okay. Before they do this, given the rigmarole of shit, I'm just going to storm forward and I'm going to do my own investigation check. Like, get right on the sarcophagus and lean in and just look in. So, fucking, what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Okay, investigation. Yeah.
Yeah. You can roll. You can those of you that are magically capable can roll Arcana too, if you'd like.
Can I choose between which one I'm more proficient in?
You can do both.
Do both. Ooh.
They're different things.
Investigation, and if I was to do Arcana too.
Okay. Vast, you definitely understand that there is some sort of enchantment in this blade, for sure. You can sense there's like the way that it's fashioned, the way the inscriptions are done. It looks inherently magical in its craft.
I'm not saying this lightly, Walker, but you need this sword. I don't know exactly what it's going to do, but you need it. Take it. Let's go.
Okay, so I'm going to take the sword. So I'm going to very reverentially, slowly open, take the elf's fingers off the hilt, off the pommel, and just very, very gently lift.
Okay, so the his hands are resting on top of the hilt like that, on the pommel of it, so it's kind of down like that. And as you pull the blade out, his hands stay exactly where they are. There is no motion. You pull the blade out, and you feel how keen it is. The black steel that it's been made with is just absolutely fine. You haven't seen a weapon of quite this quality in probably ever.
Cool. Does it weigh it? Does it feel a weight?
It weighs about the same as your greatsword.
Okay. Has anything else changed?
Nothing.
Okay. So I'm gonna wrap it up.
Your trousers.
Hey.
Tear off your trousers and wrap up the sword.
Yeah, actually, that's not a bad shout. So I'm going to tear off the remaining of the trousers.
Beautiful.
Wrap them in this sword and just kind of stow it away on my back for now. But we need to find someone that speaks giants.
I don't think we want anybody to know that we have this.
I need to
maybe we ask
somehow.
Lady.
Full application. If none of us talk giant, would any of us know that it's giant?
It's got that kind of script to it. It's like looking at a language and being like, that's Chinese. I can't read it, but it's definitely Chinese.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
What was she called, the cleric? Lady
Verta. Yeah.
What was it, sorry?
Verta. Verta.
Yeah, she could read it for us.
I have a question for the DM as more of a D&D point of view, because I've never actually tried it.
Yep.
Say, for example, we've seen this, we can tell it's Elvish, we go to the Nostrum Ministry, they have a shitload of books and stuff there. Could we, in theory, try and translate it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Without outside help. So that
You also know there are wizards and other arcane users and certain clerics that could potentially have access to a spell that would identify such properties.
Oh. All the corpses are still outside, aren't they?
They are. I mean, the firewood.
Twat something with it and see what it does.
The firewood and the and the mushrooms. Yeah.
Yeah, twat something with it and see what happens.
I don't want to. I feel a bit apprehensive about it. I mean, nothing's happened after retrieving it, but I don't really know what effects it has. I mean, it's definitely magical.
Do you not want to find out that?
Yeah.
That's not very chaotic of you.
Not the tree.
Hit the
If his
tree.
character doesn't want to do it, don't make him do it. Be nice.
Right, let's fuck off.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it wrapped up for now.
Okay.
Let's go to the inn, I think.
So as you leave the sort of the corridor adjoining to the tomb, make your way back out into the wilderness on the south coast of the Papilloma Peninsula, I think we'll call it there for tonight.
Sound.
Awesome.
Good job.
I was there. That was a good one.
Oh yeah.
GG. Thanks, Ian.
Yeah.
GG.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, thank you all for watching. I hope that was good fun. Did we establish whether or not we're doing it again next week? Is that the plan, or is it the week after? I can't remember.
I think next week.
Well, we'll
Yes.
figure it out. Keep an eye on Facebook and Twitch. We've got a couple of interesting D&D related things that we're going to be doing in the near future. That'd be good fun. And yeah, thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys.
And tomorrow, I'm going to be playing more horror games for Shitting Bricks.
Oh yeah.
8 p.m. I'm going to do the expansion for Layers of Fear. And depending on how long that takes, I might start Alien Isolation. I don't know.
It's not very long.
Oh, are you going to stop playing Alien Isolation mode tomorrow?
man.
Oh, please. Everyone check in for that. It is hilarious watching him play that game.
Beautiful. So yeah, thank you very much. Tell your friends, share it around. We'll upload this again at some point. Yeah. Cheers. See you guys later.
Like.
Bye bye. Bye everybody.
Bye everybody.